Welcome to Tales Told in the Dark, our anthology horror role-playing stream. Every show, we touch on another subgenre of the vast, wonderful, and terrible world of horror. Today, we have something for you we have named Winterborn. What that refers to, hopefully you'll never find out. I have something for you. So we are going to begin in the Zimmerman Research Facility. It is November 5th, 1986. The facility is located near the edge of the Greenland ice sheet. It's a collaboration between the US and Germany that began in 1980 with the cooperation of Denmark and the county of Greenland. The location was chosen to facilitate the study of the Jotun Drop, a massive sinkhole 400 feet across and 1,200 feet deep that was discovered in 1941. It's assumed to have been created by a subterranean vent. Every 34 to 36 hours, a steam geyser erupts from beneath, rising 100 to 120 feet above the surface for a full 4 to 8 minutes. In addition to the unique geological phenomena, in 1984, metal fragments were discovered embedded in the ice 900 feet down. Samples have been shared with the scientific community, but have defied classification. Over the next 2 years, more fragments have been found, none bigger than a pea, but the shape of the largest of them suggested they came from something that had been manufactured and had exploded. Theories about the possible extraterrestrial origins of the Jotun fragments have shifted the focus of Zimmerman to glacial mining, where teams work between eruptions along the sides of the drop, searching for and extracting additional fragments. So far, less than 21 pounds of the metal have been liberated from the ice. All the samples put together would fit inside an empty cigarette pack. Still unidentified, it has been dubbed jodium. It is yet to be placed on the periodic table. It has a higher melting point, lower vapor pressure, and higher tensile strength than tungsten. It is a radioactive metal so far classified as super heavy transuranium that does not appear to be decaying. These properties make it very valuable on many levels. Relations between the US and West Germany have been strained by the Cold War, and while collaborative cooperation in Zimmerman has been unaffected, security has been an ongoing concern. It has been an unusually harsh winter. There have been no flights in or out for over 3 months, including supply runs, so the director has instituted rationing. Extraction expeditions have been slowed to once every third cycle. A party of 4 was dispatched overland to the nearest city 3 days ago, but is not expected to return for another week. There are 11 people currently huddled beside what's been called the Devil's Howl. Many were due to be relieved months ago. They are hungry and irritable, and most have been unable to do the work that is taking them so far away from friends and family. So let's go to the main slide, Colt. So for right now, we are going to begin with everybody having an all hands meeting. It is too cold. The wind's far too hard to get in the town square. Town square is a nickname. Can you throw up the map, Colt? Thank you, sir. So town square is literally a clearing in the middle of the facility. And there's a couple of poles with speakers, very MASH style. MASH was a TV show when we used to have TV shows that were broadcast over the airwaves. And there's some benches and a couple of like picnic tables. So when the temperature isn't quite this bad during favorable seasons, you would meet out in town square. But right now, it's howling winds. You would be meeting instead in the mess. So this is a very big tent. One end has it's a cook area at the end of the tent. It doesn't have a room. It's just a big tent. So let's go back to the main slide, and we are going to go around to the people for physical descriptions. We're going to start with me. I will be playing as an NPC, Bax Blake. Bax Blake is a handsome fella. He is the kind of guy that is always low-key hitting on women by talking about how much he respects them. He is a dude that talks entirely too much about yoga. These days, he'd be talking about CrossFit, but that hasn't become a thing yet. He's always bragging about his various extreme sports kind of accomplishments. I don't think we used the term extreme sports in '86, but he certainly lists the things that we would later categorize to more easily put these people in a category that we could easily like, oh, he's an extreme sports guy. So he is a extreme bro kind of a dude. So he's wearing his job in the facilities. He's a climber. He is with the group A and group B that take turns going out and lowering themselves hundreds of feet into the drop. And so he's a little bored because he's waiting for his turn to the drop. But he's dressed like a climber would be, maybe a little more chest hair. You know, his durable shirt is like down so you can see. He's got the chain with the little horn because he's that guy. So Morgan, what do you look like?
Morgan is a very powerfully built man. Not particularly tall, 5'10", 5'9". With Morgan, apparently bilateral symmetry didn't quite take with him. his facial features are just askew enough that you look at him twice. It's like, oh, that poor man. What a childhood he must have had. But he tends to very much keep to himself during the interactions. But when you get out on the climbing rigs, he is all over everybody, double and triple checking everybody's harnesses, making sure the ropes are secure. No one is going to fall or be hurt on his watch. He takes his responsibilities as a climber almost religiously seriously, and really has nothing to do with backs. That dude with the, hey, wild, hey, here's my horn. No, sorry, he does not take this seriously enough as far as Morgan is concerned.
All right. Amanda, what do you look like?
Amanda is a young graduate student. She is physically fit, like she's into yoga. I guess that's because that's the big thing right now. But she's pretty peppy, attractive, very fashion forward. So she has a lot of like acid wash jeans and like nice like 80s sweaters and always has lip smackers like in that little fun front pocket, right? She's just effervescent and is always trying to find something for the whole group to do together, kind of keep everybody's spirits up, have some fun. Right now, she's been planning a watch party of the day the Earth stood still, because that was one of the VHSs that was in the bin. Right. But instead of the audio, she wants to do it silently, but with music playing in the background. Probably she's leaning towards some Pink Floyd, like probably with just Pink Floyd playing. And that's going to be the watch party.
Carolyn, what do you look like?
Carolyn is a little bit older. She's a mature woman who knows what she wants and isn't afraid to get it. She's the associate director, and befitting, she takes no shit. She isn't well liked. Psychologists aren't usually, because they can tell when someone is lying to them. They can tell, you know, if you have issues, but she wants to make sure that this goes successfully at any cost, really.
Mia, what does Mia look like?
Mia is kind of age indeterminate. You'd think that she's maybe in late 30s to mid 40s. You don't know. She's got kind of dark brown hair. It's going to be kind of short, shaved on the sides. Or it would have been, but it's been so long that she hasn't had recently, but it's very short. Probably has a rat tail in the back. She wears, she's probably, if it were not freezing cold, she'd be in leather, like a black leather jacket and just like jeans, kind of looking a little punky. And she is not a lot of humor. She's very straightforward, and she wants to provide support to the climbers. She's with her focus and her technical ability and her ability to fix everything if it needs fixing is very good for anybody who's going to go down into the surface icy nethers of the earth. She's German, so she would have a German accent. You don't really know a lot about her, except she really knows what she's doing, and she also is very realistic and doesn't really seem to have a whole lot of excitement and imagination, but she does her job really well.
So the two teams each have a support coordinator and then two climbers. And Mia for group one is the coordinator that runs the climb. And the climb in this case is Morgan and Bax. So when they go down, the three of them head out and they will go climbing down the terrifying side of the icy drop to pick unidentified metal out of many feet of frozen. Dieter, what do you look like?
Hi, yes, Dieter Klein, professor. I bring the science to this station because somebody has to. I am 6'1" and very gangly. I'm a very tall, very thin man with frazzled gray hair, and I'm wearing a lab coat that is a dark gray, more like a janitor's lab coat. But I am a representative of the German government in this joint operation, and I know my things when it comes to metal. Yes, but I also to be left alone so I can do my research. So please do that. Thank you.
And last, it would be the director, Professor Magnus.
Hello, playing Professor Magnus Johansson tonight. He is about 6'5" and not slender. I would say that he's the type of person who is incredibly strong, but just has a coat of fat on him that belays his strength. But anyone who's ever needed a hand has asked the affable director, and he's been very happy to assist.
Are you calling me out, Justin?
No, I'm
big
representing.
Dude who's got a bunch of fat, is unexpectedly strong, but obviously
super strong, really affable, well liked.
Yeah, next you're going to say older man, right?
Yeah. He's older, I'd say.
Right,
I mean, he could be anywhere between 50 and 60, but he's got the body of probably like an early 40s guy. Very, very strong. He's very well liked. Wears horn-rimmed glasses, thinning blonde hair, and is Swedish, although his mother's Canadian, so his accent is a mess.
You have gathered everyone together. You have noticed, because it doesn't take a bunch of skill rolls to notice, that morale is not super high. You've had to institute rationing. Fortunately, out here, you don't have to ration water because snow. It's not hard to get water. On the other hand, your food supplies are running a little thin. There's nothing to really super worry about, but you're not sure how long it's going to be for supplies to get back and how long the storm is going to go. So just out of caution, you instituted rationing. You are missing Descent Crew B, which is Loomis, Lloyd, and Strode. They should probably have been back. You lost communication with them a little while ago, and if they did what they're supposed to do, if you realize you've lost communication, you're supposed to end the climb early and come right back. So if they, taking that into account, they're at least a couple of days late. But they were expected within like a day, but should have been here. They should have cut the minute the comms stopped working. The storm is fierce enough that you have a comm, you have an antenna. It's one of those things that's military style where you can take it partially down for things like high winds and transport. So once the winds and the storm really started kicking up, you took the top part down because otherwise you just lose it. And if you lose that in the middle of something like this, you could be weeks trying to find it and dig it back out. So it's all lashed together, but that means that definitely sealed the deal on comms no work, because the minute you were having some trouble and then had to take the antenna down, no chance. You're talking about your nearest, small, it's actually a town, being like over a week away. You're out here on the Greenland ice, like you're far out. You can see glaciers, which rise above the ice pack. And then the area that you're dealing with is literally, so a drop, for those that don't know, is like a drop on land, but with the ice, it literally looks like somebody took like a brand and just, like made a hole. They're kind of spectacular because they get very beautiful on the sides, but this one is over 1,000 feet deep and super extra dangerous because it will occasionally do the steam guys. So they have to be very careful about how they time lowering themselves on. And what they're doing is using a pulley system and a thing like you do to clean skyscrapers. They get anchored and then they will drill into the side and try to get more of that metal. Yeah, and like we were talking about, you've got like a double handful and it's little bitty pieces. But a lot of them are currently in the possession of Professor Dieter, because he's your metallurgist, metal dude. He's Professor Metal Dude.
Metallurgist.
Thank you. There was no chance that was coming out of my mouth. So when you're looking at the map, the central hub, one of those three. So the central hub is a tent, and there's 3 prefabs off of it, and then a front end. One of those prefabs is literally the shop that Dieter's working in. You're all stationed in the barracks, but you work in the central hub. All right, so it's your meeting, Professor Johansson. It's time to settle frazzled nerves and encourage your staff that they're not doomed in the middle of a terrible Arctic blizzard.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm sure there's been some rumor and conjecture going about for those of us who are here at the moment. But yes, if you have read the memo on the corkboard, which I hope you all have, we have instituted rationing for the food for the time being.
Well,
I don't believe we're in any real danger, but it's always important, if there is something on the horizon that seems like it could become a problem, obviously to treat it with the utmost carefulness and haste, lest we find ourselves in a position that would be unenviable. Yes.
My body is a machine, right? And if you starve the machine of the fuel it needs, it could be subject to breakdown. And we don't want that. You don't want that. So I think maybe rationing should be balanced towards the function. Like Dieter here, I think he could eat half of a tuna packet every 2 days and be fine. But I'm a climber, man.
That's funny because while we're here at the base, you're not climbing, are you?
But I'm keeping in shape, bro.
Yes, I'm sure. But the needs of many, and every part of the wheel here, every part of the cog, yes, you know what I'm saying. We're all very important, and we won't let anyone starve. This is merely a temporary measure. There's plenty of water to keep you hydrated. We can certainly slip you some of the higher fat foods to give you some things to burn.
Please think of our athletes, because when they are looking for this space metal, we definitely need to have them in best shape, because otherwise, it's all going to be waste and they're going to fall. And
natürlich. If we're going to send everyone off on a climb, of course, we'll make sure that everyone has the appropriate amount of calories required.
And we are keeping this stuff aside, especially for our climbers, yeah?
Of course, everything is being rationed with the job in mind.
I just want to point out that we have an extra mouth in this camp in the form of a cat, which has no way in a research station.
Fox barely eats anything.
But it is also a very good source of protein. This is what I'm just pointing out here. That is all I want to say.
Also, I brought her own food, and there's still a bit of that left. So I tell you what, since she doesn't eat a lot, and if we actually do run out of rations, we can all eat Foxy Fox's food.
Yeah,
How about
Clyde,
that?
would you like to eat that instead?
You know, I can eat anything. Like I said, my body's a machine.
Yes, of course. Well, I will say, Dieter, in addition to the morale boost of the kitty cat, the cats tend to be rather lean protein. And if you haven't heard the tales of people starving off of eating rabbit, I imagine that the cat would be, very, very little benefit for the amount of harm that would cause to the camp.
At this
Yeah,
point, there is
absolutely
a
not
plastic,
eating Foxy Fox.
there's a meow kind of noise, and the lights go up.
Ah!
Badamta.
And maybe
Right.
more to
Yeah.
the point, the heater goes off.
Ah!
What, Mia?
Yeah.
Can you fix this?
Yeah.
So the one thing that's not on my map is the Jenny, which is out behind the central hub. And because of what it is and the fact that in extreme circumstances they can explode, it would be a distance bandit.
Well, I cannot do my research in the dark while freezing. So, Mia, I think as the engineer, this falls squarely into
I
your-
already said I'm going.
I will come with you, Mia.
As will I, Miss Bauer. I will come with you.
And the rest of you, find a lantern and huddle up.
Yes.
I've
You're getting
already
cold.
got everything ready, just in case Descent Crew B comes back with hypothermia. So everything, all the blankets and everything are ready. So
Perhaps
if
some
this takes
coffee?
a little longer, we're fine.
I'll
Well-
put on the pot.
We got Magnus and Mia are going to go out. And who was the third person I heard?
Morgan.
Morgan. Okay.
Well, I will work on my dollhouse by candlelight, which is not easy. I hope this gets fixed soon.
So you're going to go to the barracks to work on your dollhouse?
Yes.
Okay. And this is because not all of you have read the briefing because you're listening, hopefully, and not one of the players. Dieter has been working on the dollhouse for weeks. So it's very fine work. When he's working, it uses the same kind of meticulous precision. So he seems to be completely into it. All right.
And Amanda and I will be in the central hub awaiting any news from the generator or the cruise.
Amanda is going to go back into her headphones attached to her Walkman and just sort of proceed to dance, creating her own heat like she do.
So Bax is going to sidle up. So Magnus, Mia, and Morgan, all the M's in the group, head out. Dieter goes off to go to the barracks. You very likely have a small gas-powered lantern that you can use. So I assume that you would reserve that times like now when you don't have the electric light, but I'm sure you have one. Otherwise, like you said, working on a model in the dark would be unnecessarily challenging. So Amanda and Caroline, you're getting ready to go, and Bax rolls up. Doesn't say anything, but kind of does this.
Yes?
Well, I'm just saying it's going to get cold, and there are a lot of ways to warm up that don't require a heater.
I know what you're implying, but I am not going to dignify it with a response.
Oh, okay. Let me correct then. Sex?
I tell you what, I mean, if it comes to that, it comes to that. But I put it pretty close to eating Foxy Fox right now. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a simple fix. Mia's got it handled. She's super capable, as she likes to tell us all the time. So you know what? Just sit down, chillax, cop a squat.
Do you realize you just put a race in my head between cat eating and having sex with a cute co-ed? That's weird, man. I'm gonna go take a run because my body temperature,
Is
it's gonna be
affecting your
coming hot.
brain, probably.
Yeah.
Do
Go clear
I-
your head. Enjoy.
He takes off. He, in fact, even though it's a terrible idea, he takes off his outer shirt and has a muscle shirt, and he heads out into the cold. So, Amanda and Caroline, you're going to the main hub, right? Is that what I heard? Caroline, main hub. Thank you. All right, Magnus, Mia, and Morgan, you head out back behind the main hub. Is there anything you talk about on the way there?
Morgan will attach a safety line to the doorway and run it out as we head towards the central hub, so we have a lifeline back in case things go
In
horribly,
case it's
horribly
like
wrong.
zero visibility, and okay.
Very wise.
Yeah, and
very
I
wise.
will check the rope and the knot to make sure it's secure.
Magnus, this sub team is almost too efficient.
Very good. Yeah.
And you will see Morgan dart a scowling look at Mia for checking his work, but then swallow it and just step back and let her do her thing.
I will consider putting my carabiner onto the line, and then really like take a good look at Morgan, reconsider, shrug, and attach to the line. Like I don't, whatever, fine. It's not worth it.
So you head out from here, over past the barracks to the main hub. You're probably going to have to. That line is probably only about that long, so you'll probably need a second line. Just gather that one back up later. Or you're a climber. You probably have a release thing. I don't know all the terms.
I'll do a climbing thing and we'll attach a rope.
In S, quick release jig.
Yes.
Pull.
2.0.
So you
Yes,
do a little
exactly.
flip thing that comes back. All right, so you head around back, and there is a little smoke, even though you're in the middle of Arctic storm, coming out of the generator.
Ah, shit.
Scheiße.
Crap.
So you head over, and Mia takes a look. First roll of the game. I need a tech test from Mia. So it's a D12 plus 3 for your tech ability.
All right. And my rolly thing. That's a technical term for all of you. Is it rolly thing?
Rolly thing?
It's a
Rolly
really
thing? Oh, of course, Leitron.
Andreas, what's rolly thing in German?
Yeah, well, that's good enough.
Close.
Good.
It sounded more Swedish to me.
Das Roly thing.
Das, yeah.
Das
Oh,
Rolly
said
thing.
Das, yeah.
That's
Das
rolly
was-
dinge.
So what'd you roll?
7.
Okay, I need a. Actually, you're working on that. So, given who'd be more on a high alert, that would be Morgan. Morgan, give me a perception test, please.
Okay. 9.
There is, and you'd find this about the same time because you're looking at it differently. Like Mia is looking at it like, what's broken? How do I fix it? You discover the answer to that question. So you arrive at the same point when you find the spear that was stuck in the works of the generator. So Magnus, can I have a knowledge check, please?
I was just going to ask.
Is that supposed to be there?
I mean,
Class.
that's a 9.
That is an Inuit hunting spear.
Oh, great.
Now you're in Greenland. So typically not a lot of Inuit here.
Mhm.
Not impossible, because you've got frozen shelf. It's possible that there are groups that move, right? Because you have land bridge. It's possible they could go from A to B. But you, to the best of your knowledge, there's no one in this area that would explain this.
Right. And what's visibility like if I were to look around?
Like 20 feet.
Ah, shit.
Yeah. Do you want to start looking around, seeing if you can figure anything out in this?
As much as I can, yeah.
Okay.
Just like a
Do
quick
you
reconnoiter.
want to get it started up again?
Hmm?
Yeah, do you want to get it started back up again?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm going to
please.
remove the sphere.
Very-
The spear.
Clearly,
Yeah.
clearly.
So we're going to go back to Dieter. Dieter, I need a tech test from you, sir.
What?
Tech?
Oh, I got it. And that will be and a Oh boy, a 4. I want to get the sheet metal on the roof just right.
As usual, your project requires parts you don't have.
Ooh, I know. since everybody is currently otherwise occupied, I will just maybe ransack, like a can of food that I could bend open, and maybe some of that wire for the extra truck to rebuild that rain pipe.
So there might be also, and then I'll go with that because there's some of that stuff there too. The garage probably has, if you want to stick a few things in your coat, that would be the place to go.
Yeah, I will go on a scrounging mission because I want to finish that balcony.
It looks wrong unfinished.
This is not okay. So I'll put on my heavy winter gear.
Yeah.
Take a flashlight so I can signal in a pinch and make
the big heavy coat with the fur. Yeah. You head out.
Oh boy.
Amanda and Caroline, you are in the hub. So it's very dark in here, but there are a couple of ways. There's chemical light, but you want to avoid using those to get used up. But there's also gas lanterns. And the middle of the hub would have an open room for smaller meetings, and there would be a lantern there. So if you wanted light, you could have a light.
I like how dark. Like, is it dark?
Well, it's late afternoon, but it's a dark late afternoon, and it's during a blizzard, so it's like nighttime.
Okay. Yeah, probably have it on, but just low, just so that it's, you're not tripping over furniture.
Yeah.
I think the feel of the background we're using is about right, but it'd be darker than this.
Okay.
Very bleak, very, very dark, very hard, and also a lot more, snow. So is there anything the two of you discuss while you're waiting?
I really don't know what those teams could have run into that makes them this late.
Well, I mean, the blizzard's been going on for a while, and maybe they just got caught out. And they're smart, and they're capable, and they've probably just bivouacked. At least that's what I keep telling myself.
They are, but their gear is. They should be here already, even with the blizzard. They're used to these conditions. Maybe not to this level, but.
I know, I'm worried too. I am, but I'm hopeful. We have faced very inclement weather before, and we've had slips and falls and all sorts of accidents, and this crew has continued to make it through, and I'm already ready for when they show up so that I can take care of them.
As soon as they're here, we're prepared to get them back to normal, get going, and weather the storm.
And hopefully they'll be back for movie night, because I'm jazzed for that.
Yeah. The generator, though,
I'm sure they'll
I hope it's on by the time they get back.
And about them, the lights flicker back to life.
Hey!
So the other group has repaired the generator. You've searched the area, but considering how far the snow is traveling and the way it's drifting, anything like tracks would be. There's no chance. So you take a look around just to do it. I mean, also, it looks like somebody threw a spear. So they would also have been standing 90 degrees from where it landed, probably up to 200 feet away. Mm-hmm. So God knows. So you do, because you feel like it's necessary, you go ahead and you take a look, but you find nothing. So I'm going to say that you end up going back to the hub. So the three of you walk in. And Kellen and Amanda have probably turned off the lantern because the lights have flickered back on. I am going to move our clock. Did you picture, Amanda, movie night being tonight or soon?
You're on mute.
Someone stole her voice.
She's silent.
It's a very different kind of horror. The horror of Zoom.
Oh, it's frozen. I think she says it's frozen.
So I'm going to say that it's going to be, she's waiting for the people to come back to have her movie night, which means we're going to move to that evening. So what I need to know, and I'm going to go around actually. Magnus, is there anything that you need to go up to publicly or privately that evening? Anyone you need to talk to? Anything you need to take care of?
I would like to look into just making sure that the backup generator, assuming we have one, is somewhere accessible.
Yep.
And
It would be inside the hub, probably under a big heavy tarp, and not as powerful as the main one. But if you needed it, you could pull it out so the gas wouldn't kill you, and hook it and fire it up. But yeah, you can check it and it's fine.
And double check on just the supplies to make sure no one's been cheating.
So that, do you go alone? Because if you can you have the map again?
I mean, I'll take Morgan with me if you'd like to come.
There you go. So you see where the supplies are. It's actually they're not tents. They're 3 prefab sheds that when they deposited you here, they offloaded them, and they've got like heavy locks on them and stuff.
Good.
So you're gonna take Morgan and head out there.
Yeah, and I'm just going to maybe just bring my rifle with me.
Okay.
Just on a lark, because there was a spear, so I'm maybe a little bit more tense than normal.
So Morgan, you know that Magnus is a hunter. Like, I assume you've been here for months. He would have talked about it. That's not a private part of your life, is it?
No, not at all.
No. Like, I assume given where you're from, like skiing and shooting.
Yeah.
One of those
triathletes, like I've got like a mounted elk in my office, like the taxidermied head. Very gauche, but hang my toque on it.
You talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am well aware of this.
So the two of you head out to the stores. Dieter, go ahead, Andreas, just roll a D12, no modifier. High is good, low is bad.
Great. I roll. Pew! That's 6.
You find about half of what you're looking for.
Finally.
So there are a few other things that could be found, like in radios. Like how scavengy do you want to get?
Well, I don't want to destroy anything, but if there's anything that can go safely, then
like an extra radio or anything that's backup,
I'll do it. Yeah.
Okay, so there are some repair parts here for the vehicles that are redundant, because they're for things like there's leads and fuses for the trucks. There are things for the control panels, and so we would see the camera. We just see from behind, so we won't see what he's doing, but you can hear drawers opening, the little tool, the big toolbox things. You like shuffle through doors. All right, Amanda, what are you up to that evening? It is a night full of promise. How do you use it?
It is a all right. So Dieter's working on his dollhouse, I guess.
You don't know. Do you go check on him?
Sure. Knock on the door.
He's not. You don't really have rooms in the barracks. You do have cloth partitions. So I think it's probably 4 and 4, 8 per barracks. So it's kind of almost like a hospital, right?
Okay.
So in the ER, we've got those separated rooms.
Yeah.
And he's not in his.
Hey, Prof.
Nothing.
Anybody seen Dieter?
There's no one in this barracks. It's just you.
Lame. Okay. I'm going to throw on my clothes, like all my winter gear, and I'm going to head over to I'm actually gonna head to the mess because I figure maybe it's late. Maybe people are just kind of sitting around the table. But I want to go find somebody to talk to.
Mia, what would you be up to? You're starting to feel kind of hungry, by the way.
Is there somewhere I can go and check on, just make sure everything else? What I would probably want to see if there's anything that looks suspicious within the area.
So you just kind of want to check out the compound and see if anything seems wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do that alone, or you take somebody with you?
I'll go alone.
Okay. Again, cinematically, would see her go out. Mia is not wearing the heavy coats that a lot of the others we've seen them wearing, and seems just fine, and is clearly got head on a swivel, right? And is just kind of calmly walking the grounds. All right, Carolyn, what are you up to? Are you in fact in that mess, or do you have someone to talk to or something you want to be up to?
Before going to the mess hall, before movie night or dinner, whatever, wanted to head to the barracks and get some alone time, get some time to breathe.
You would be in the barracks B, the lower one, which is not the one that Dieter was in, and then Amanda was in, which is why you weren't there.
Yeah.
And you're that one currently is empty because everybody else is doing things. And you can definitely go there, get your center, rest up a bit. Anything else you're up to?
Maybe if I am allowed my guilty pleasure, have a cigarette because of the stress.
Okay.
But so go outside the barracks between them possibly.
So the camera would see that she takes out of her pocket, and my dad had one of these. It's a little machine for doing roll-your-owns. It's a little plastic thing where you put the stuff in and you put the paper and you flip a switch and does the roll-your-own. She has a little tin, and the stuff in the tin more resembles Tanya's teas, because Tanya's teas are amazing. She is a tea wizard. But so it doesn't look like pot. It doesn't look like tobacco. It looks like maybe tobacco, but there's just other stuff like seeds. And so she puts a pinch of whatever the hell that is into the roller, rolls it, and starts smoking. All right, I need let's get your sheet up. There's Mia. There's Mia. Okay, can I have a perception roll from Mia, please?
Uh, 10 natural.
Very faintly on the wind, and it's hard to pick up because the winds are literally howling and it's a blizzard. Kind of coming from the direction of the drop, you hear chanting or singing.
All right. How far are we from the drop?
Oh, you're like, it would take a day to get there and you'd want a truck.
All right.
Yeah, you're intentionally not near it because it's they call it a drop for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You're also on ice. So if something should happen, especially considering the theory is it's over a vent, if that cracks and falls, you'd lose the entire facility. Mm-hmm. So they built it back a distance. Yeah, you're on ice right now. There's a lot of water really far down there. I mean, it's permanent for us, so it's very deep. But still, the knowledge of that, if that's the kind of thing that would creep you out, it's a little creepy.
All right. Do I have any idea like how many people would be singing?
You could go closer to the source of the sound and have another chance of picking that out.
Well, I mean, it's a day's travel away, so.
Right, but you could get closer, but it would take hours to get to the point where it make a difference.
Yeah. Now I'm going to try and get to where I could maybe hear a little bit better. As it's with the wind, depending on which direction the wind goes, the sound is going to travel differently. So I'm going to see if I can get more of the sound, a clearer idea of what actually is going on.
Morgan and Magnus, do you open the locks and check each of the supplies?
Oh, yes, of course. That's why we're here.
Okay. I assume Morgan is essentially on high guard and alert, and Magnus is doing the inventory?
Yes.
Was there any talk between the two of you on your way to do this?
Yes, actually. Morgan will say, Director, Loomis, Lloyd, and Shod are dangerously overdue. We send Bax and me to go and investigate. Let us at least find out their fate. If they're in trouble, we can help them. But the worry of everyone over them, especially for me, is strong.
I wouldn't feel comfortable sending you both alone, just the two of you. I would want to come.
You are a capable man. Do you think the facility will do well under Miss Bell?
I don't think she'll burn it to the ground. But we shall see. But I don't feel comfortable sending the two of you if you needed assistance soon. I don't. Let me think on it.
Magnus, make a perception roll for me.
6.
Make a tech test for me.
That's 7.
There are small bits of electronics missing. So like a flashlight that's one of those multi-function flashlights, it had its guts removed and was put back. So when you pick it up, it's basically just the shell. And when you look, like all the kind of like bits and the contacts for the batteries and the bulb, that's all missing. It's just hollow. And there's a couple things like that.
But just electronics, like no food.
No, it's all very carefully arranged and has, as far as you can tell, has not been touched.
Do we have spare locks?
Yes.
I would like to change the locks.
Okay.
I'll just make note of, I'll make a small inventory of what's missing and just for now change the lock.
Given the way I'm seeing the relationship between Morgan and Magnus developing, I would assume Morgan knows where those are and Magnus could just say, swap these out.
Yeah, someone's up to something shenanigans and I just don't appreciate it.
Okay, so Morgan, you're just gonna take those, put them in a little ditty bag and just swap them out for new ones. Okay. And hand over the keys to Magnus. You've got the only keys now. Mia, you're heading back into camp because you went out a distance. You did what you suggested, which was a good idea, which was go kind of behind a little bit of a bluff so you didn't have the howling wind. And it gets to the point where you're not hearing it, and it's like you're kind of wondering, did I hear anything? You know, that point. And you just eventually kind of give up on it and head back in.
Right.
You're a little weaker than you'd like and a little colder than you'd like because of hunger. The next morning, you all end up in the mess. No one has returned, including Bex.
Wait, he was going on a run, wasn't he? Actually, we didn't know that.
Well, some of you do, so you can easily. Well, go ahead and ask. Like he's not.
Where's Bex?
I don't know. Maybe he's still sleeping. I couldn't go check.
I assume he climbed the snowman he built. Some exercise that he's wont to do. He's probably on top of the central hub right now, but doing.
He probably started working out and completely forgot we were having a meeting.
When did he go out? I mean, we were out and then we came back and from fixing the generator and he was gone.
He was just out. He was out running laps. He said.
Was he doing?
The last time you saw him was after that meeting, which is in the late afternoon. Since then, no one has seen him.
Yeah, before the generator was fixed.
Running laps outside without a safety line? And I make eye contact with Morgan.
And Morgan, you know that he does things like that.
Because he's an idiot. Yes.
He said he was just going to be right in town center.
Has anyone seen him since then? I mean, I will admit that it's been quieter than normal. I've been slightly relieved, but...
Which
one moment. It can be, or you can go Facebook, Andreas.
Got it. Well, he probably looked into a mirror, fell in love with himself or his biceps, and is still there. Why do we need him?
Which bunker is he in?
Emergency.
Would be in bunker 1.
Bunker 1.
Yeah.
Oh, Deidre, don't be insufferable. You know very well we need the climbers to get the metal you're so fond of.
Yeah, well.
I'll go check.
9, Amanda, you stay here. I'm going.
And will I as well?
9, you stay here too.
I don't feel
fine. Nah.
Yes. The two of you go. I'll be here.
All right.
Okay, so who are the two we're talking about and where are they gone?
I'm going to go as the medic. I'm not going to sit
9,
down.
du musst hier bleiben. Gotta stay here.
Why? We're
We
always
do not need you. We are
sitting
strong.
here.
We'll bring him back. I know enough of the medical things to get him in. Okay. If
Yes,
you're out
you're
there and
so capable. I
Give
get it, but it's my job to take care of people's
we'll,
health.
we bring him back to you. You are not strong enough to carry him.
If something's wrong with him, why are you?
Oh
gonna
my
be
God!
back
If
out in
something's
the
gone with him,
cold?
he needs the heat. It doesn't matter if you come
If
out.
only we had an authority who makes these decisions on this station, like a director maybe or something, then we could settle this and not spend time arguing.
Mia,
Why not send out
Morgan,
the people?
off you go.
Thank
Amanda, let's conserve your strength in case we actually need you.
Fine. I'm just gonna put my headphones on.
Okay. So me and Morgan are off to go look. What are the other four of you doing?
Well, if we're just spinning our wheels, I might as well continue my research. Did you know that it is a super heavy transuranium the element that we found? I want to say it is radioactive. So I also want to say if our three climbers come back and don't have hair and glow in the dark, do not blame me. I pointed it out several times, and I know it's important that we find this metal and analyze it, but we do not have the right equipment.
Okay. There's
That's why we
only
send
a
them with lead
very
boxes,
small
Dieter, for
amount
the
of
love
the
of
metal.
Christ.
Very small amount, and they're only in contact with it for a very short amount of time. Do you know?
They're also wearing gear that should protect them somewhat.
Well, I'm assuming, because again, we're talking 1986, not 52, that Dieter probably has a small lead-lined cupola. And
Yes.
probably, you're not
Storing it.
literally have a cigarette pack. That was just
Storing it is easy, but them hanging from a wall, being
Right.
blasted with
And God knows how much is in the ice.
radiation. I mean, I'm just a metallurgist. What do I know about isotopes? Nothing, probably. I will be in my barrack.
Is
right,
Mia
because the medical profession uses 0 isotopes, 0 radiation on anything. I know nothing either. Oh, I hate mornings like this.
still in for this interchange?
They
we
have
already
left.
left.
Mia
Okay.
and Morgan are gone.
Well, I suppose we should enjoy our rations. Hopefully we won't have to ration as much soon. But
I don't know. Some of them are actually quite good. And I've taken to mixing some of them together, which honestly, not terrible.
Yeah, Carolyn, you've noticed that she doesn't eat the same thing twice. So it's always like, let's check out this reconstituted corn with jalapenos, so it's always a safari to eat with her.
it
All right,
looked quite
so
interesting today.
So those three people are just going to stay, or Magnus, or do you go back to your office?
They're quiet.
I'm going to go to my office.
Okay. So again, from the cinematic point of view, we would see him go out. He also does not wear a super heavy coat. And the one thing that we would see from the point of view of the audience is he actually kind of stands out in the cold and takes a nice deep breath and looks like I do when I go to Chicago. It looks like, this is lovely. And then he walks back over to his office. All right, so Mia and Morgan, I'm going to need both of you to make a perception rolls.
And SOP from now on, whenever Morgan dragging it out, and we'll start measuring out chords to try and connect us at least to between the mess and the barracks and the stores.
You want to get enough, you want to hang enough rope so you can just hand to hand between the different points.
Exactly.
Mia, are you comfortable spending the time doing that? Because that'll take an hour or so, but it's very helpful.
Well, we can do that after we check. Backs is priority, but
Cool.
that's next priority.
So go ahead and make your perception roll.
11.
Okay.
Nat 12. I am
11 and
vigilant.
12. So the two of you end up over, call up my map. So you are a little north of Barracks 1. So it's the direction the airstrip is. And you have a small airstrip, but your airstrip is literally just an area that you keep flat and clear, because a couple of times you've had planes land by the facility. Generally, though, you don't. Generally, they land over at the town, and then they drive trucks in. But for emergencies or for certain kind of shuttling personnel in and out, they'll bring in, like, it's also 86 isn't that long ago, but it also fucking is. Where they'll have puddle jumpers, right? This is not going to be full-size planes. This will be small, short-run planes. All right. So you're up in that area, and you spot a fleck of blood.
Mia will go over to check it out.
So the only way that would be possible is if it hits something that is not, so it probably hit a chunk of ice rather than snow. And because the ice is heavier and more stable, the wind blew the snow off of it, revealing it. Again, you had 11 or 12. Looking around, you find a chain with the little horn.
A little like a animal horn.
Bax's
little thing that everybody that you didn't want to date more in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
Bax's horn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm generalizing here, but I think it's a safe generalization.
So, so can we tell anything about looking at this from the horn and where there might have been backs or what would have happened?
So there's no footprints, that would have been all covered up.
Yeah.
You do find a couple of other small frozen, and because it was kind of flash frozen, it's still reddish as opposed to having gone brown. So it's actually, horror wise, it's nice and shocking looking. In fact, Morgan, I don't think you would need to roll because you're Morgan. I know. Mia, no, not either. So it's not particularly shocking either. No potential of sanity loss, but it's clear that there was at least a struggle because there's blood, right? And there's no sign of him, a body, or tracks.
Okay. How much blood is there? Is it just
You
drips
only
or?
found like 3 flecks. Okay. I mean, if there's more, it's down in the snow and has been covered up.
All right. I'm going to dig to see if I can find more blood.
Okay. Roll a d12. You got to get pretty lucky, but it's possible. Like you just rolled irrationally high.
Any number?
Do I add anything? It's an investigate. It's a perception again.
13.
Wow. You find some frozen blood in the stone, enough to suggest that it was more than somebody took a serious wound here. Right. Okay. It's enough blood loss that there was enough to hit the snow, sink in, and freeze. So she literally pulls out a blood popsicle.
Like blood.
It's just a blood spat that's frozen. And I'm going to say, Morgan, give me a willpower save, please.
2 + 2 is 4.
Go ahead and take 3 sanity loss, please.
Okay.
And make a willpower roll.
Another one?
Yep. This is to avoid instability.
5 + 2 is 7.
That's enough. Okay. Yeah, the risk when you take any sanity damage is that second roll. If you fail it, you become unstable, which is mostly a role-playing poke. Gotcha. But then if you're unstable, very bad things happen if it gets worse. But all that's really happened to you is you've taken some sanity loss, which is just the shock of, I don't really like that dude, but he's my climbing partner, and she's holding a popsicle of likely his blood. So I would assume that'd be at least a little shocking.
That would be a shock, yes.
Yeah. Yes, Blood Sausage. A good movie, by the way. Great movie. Blood Sausage. It's got to be Corman. It's got to be a Roger Corman movie. All right, so the two of you return with the blood sausage?
Yes. I will put it in because Morgan, you look very upset. I will take this and I'll take care of the blood and I put it. Where would we put this?
Medical facility.
Yeah. Do we have? Sorry, I'm not looking at the thing right now. Do we have?
There's not a separate medical facility, but in the hub, one of those 3 nedjus is an area that you use for medical stuff. It's actually got a stretcher. It has the med kits. So that would probably be the place. There'd be sample containers and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take it over there. You go in and kind of stabilize yourself. Maybe talk to Amanda. She'll be very happy to see you, and that you are needing some tending. Okay.
Yes, of course.
And Emily, noted.
Yeah.
All right. So when we did that, Magnus, you go back to your office. You see that Dieter is working on the Draconium. I'm imagining he's always kind of half bent over something, like working very intently on things.
And then centrifuge time. And I watch it very closely.
So is there anything Magnus needs to take care of? Do you need to talk to Dieter at all, or are you good?
I'm just going to go look at our emergency procedures for being out of contact for an extended period of time, sort of review. I feel like, what do we do now?
So you've done a lot of the things, right? Like you sent a group back to the town, which is one of the things you're supposed to do. It's big on reestablishing communication, but in the middle of the storm, you can't even put up the antenna. So you're kind of at like hunkered down and outlast the storm, because you've got options. The minute you can really move around, you could theoretically you've got 2 large trucks that you use to go back and forth to the drop. Those are heavy enough, they won't be buffeted even by this wind. So if you wanted to try to go somewhere, the drop or otherwise, you could take the second truck. But again, your visibility is shit.
I would go and visit Magnus while the centrifuge is running. I had something.
I will be cleaning my gun and making sure it works.
Oh, my goodness. Well, how topical. This is why I'm here.
Like just spread out on the desk with the oil and the file and everything.
Director, you must see that tempers are running short. We're in clearly a crisis situation and things are happening. Errors are being made and everybody is testing at each other's throat. How about this? I know our emergency procedures, but how about this? We cut our emergency ration short by a bit and have a feast tonight. Together with, I think there was a movie planned or something, I don't quite know, but let's feast. Everybody gets to eat. It'll calm people down. I think the term is hangry, if I'm correct. I'm not a biochemist or anything, and maybe Amanda knows more, but I think being hungry on top of cut off and full of anxiety is not helpful, Director. So I say, let's break open the cans and have a feast. It's peaches for everybody.
So while I'm thinking,
I'll leave you
so while Magnus is thinking about it, he'll sort of curl his lip a little bit and run his tongue along like a rather large canine tooth that really perhaps hadn't been noticed for. So, that might be a good idea once, because we might need to look after the other climbers very early tomorrow, and a good meal would probably help with that.
Did you hear that?
I myself am getting a bit hangry.
I must go.
All right.
So Amanda was doing
fun.
I'm about to put the group back together again for dinner and movie night, and to talk about backs. Amanda, was there anything before that happens do you need to do?
I'm just gonna go back to the little medical pod and make sure that everything is still ready. All the things that I need for treating hypothermia are still everything is good and kosher and there, and Mia hasn't touched it because she thinks she can do it better than me.
Nothing's been touched, nothing's been added, nothing's been disturbed.
All right. So with that, then I'm going to head to make sure the VHS is set up and.
Okay, Morgan, you have anything special you need to be doing? And Carolyn. All right. So the group gets back together in the tent, and you've set up you've got a nice big set, and you've got an AV cart. You've got everything's all set for that, and it's up.
X is dead.
Well, there you go.
We don't know that. So when would we have mentioned what we found?
Right now.
All right.
Excuse me.
What?
But 9, we don't know that for sure yet. We just found some blood and his chain. We don't know. We could not find him. He's not there. So do not panic yet. but it seems that it would be prudent to go look for him. And since we saw that the spear in the generator earlier,
The spear?
yeah,
What's fear?
It's need to know basis.
Need to know. There are
I'm
so
the
many of us
assistant director.
here.
I need to
Maybe
know
we need
this.
to know.
Magnus, how could you have not at least told me?
I feel betrayed. My safety is at risk, and I'm not even told. There's attacks by natives.
we don't know
Well, I
what they
mean,
are. You know, is
it's-
a big piece of wood with some metal on it. We don't know.
Well,
It's entirely likely that it was an error, a hunting error. I mean, it happens. There didn't seem to be any follow-up malicious intent. Our stores were unmolested.
They don't go for our food, so
I did a perimeter check. It's fine. Everything's probably
It's
fine.
fine, except they found blood and now Bax is missing.
Well, why don't you go ahead and get the paperwork going for that, Carolyn?
Well, you know what?
Too.
I prepared an indoor firework out of aluminum shavings and some copper dust, but you are
you
not getting
and
it.
your metals.
You're not
This is the
getting
most
it.
ridiculous thing.
No fireworks for you. Not
I
with
would really rather we not set off fires in the canvas tent.
It's completely safe.
Professor Klein, I mean, with you and your metals, how do you think, I know this is why we're here for some stupid space metal, but what do you know? How can you tell this is anything like strange, or what makes you think it's from outer space?
I guess as an engineer, the scientific method is not quite known to you. It means discovery. It means test. It means applying whatever we know about the wonders of the universe. This could be a very important find. But I want to stress again,
what
it's dangerous.
proof do you have? What proof do you have? I have not seen this metal. You carry this metal with you all the time.
But you want to see
We
it?
are risking our lives for this metal, Mr. Herr Professor. We lose maybe one of my crew for this fucking metal.
Bitte schön, Germans, calm yourselves.
Verdammte.
Scheiße.
Morgan,
Yes.
what's our supply looking like for emergency flares?
We have only used them for regular signaling, so we are well stocked.
Good. Visibility is still around 20 feet. I don't know what
Yes.
you Americans use.
Yeah, we're a little backwards. 7 meters.
I want
Roughly.
you, Amanda, and myself to take the second truck. We'll drop flares so we don't lose our direction, and we'll go out as far as is prudent to look for the sex pervert.
Bax? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I just need to
that
get
guy.
some things first.
Of course. We should also slam a little bit of food in first. We're going to be hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Very
Come on,
quickly.
let's get some food.
Everyone else, the Germans, Carolyn, remain here.
Great.
In one room, please.
And what do you suppose we
one
do while
room,
we
please.
sit here?
Nein, mein Labor.
Watch the movie. I mean, somebody ought to get some entertainment out of it.
It wasn't a suggestion, Herr Professor.
Fine. But when you're
Okay.
gone, we're gonna have an indoor firework and you will miss it. So there.
Good. Mia, keep the fire extinguisher nearby.
Yeah, well,
I want a bed when I come back.
I'll start the paperwork, I suppose.
Thank you, Carolyn. You're a
There's
treasure.
some information. Hang on 1 second.
But Hector, it just got chillier in here than it is out there. I just thought I'd point that out.
It's true.
Playing with 80s level sexism. I'm so sorry.
There we go. Oh yeah, well that's no good. All right. Dieter, I need a knowledge test, please.
Ooh. God damn it. A 5.
Mia's accent doesn't sound right.
I always thought she was just from one of those areas of Germany.
Emily, no. So, okay. So,
Swiss German.
Who are the three people that were
She's Saxish.
heading out? I heard people heading out. Who was
That'd be Morgan,
Yeah.
Magnus, and Amanda.
Okay, cool. All right.
And I'm
What
bringing my
are
gun.
Dieter, Carolyn, and Mia up to?
All right. Now that we're alone and Germans under Germans, I just want to point out, yes, this metal might be very important, but it's also dangerous. It is radioactive, and we're sending these climbers out all the time, and nobody seems to care because everybody is so intent on making a discovery. I'm doing research, fine, yes, but I'm also under the aegis of our director. So I
Thank
would
you for
say
that research.
no more.
Nah,
We
no
have
more.
to.
We have to stop this until we have better equipment to do it safely. Imagine climbers pull out a head-sized piece of this radioactive material. They could be cooked in a minute. It's because we're finding tiny fragments. Who knows? It's not
But
safe.
isn't it your job to know what is going on with this metal? Yeah?
Yeah,
You
and
know
prepare
what
them
is
for
it
it.
is this geotonium, and you are gosh, I cannot think the word.
Metallurgist?
No.
Brilliant.
You have no way of telling us what you know. You don't know for sure what this is.
I
And
know.
what makes you say it comes from outer space? Yeah, is there some sort of thing in it you don't find on Earth?
Okay, I have never uttered these specific words. I'm just saying it is a material hitherto unknown on Earth. Take that as you want. Things get discovered all the time. I'm not the one who talked about outer space. Quite the opposite. I think it's very much a thing here, and probably soon the Russians and the Americans will fight over it because you can use it in a submarine or something.
Yeah. But I think it's ridiculous to risk the lives of people such as Morgan and Bax. We hope he is still fine for something so we don't even know what this is. It's radioactive, maybe.
Okay, but whatever it is, it needs to be studied. It needs to be collected. We need to have a big enough sample in order to figure out its effects. If we don't send people down there, then who will?
Why don't you go, Caroline?
I would if I had the ability to, but we're protecting them with everything we can.
Well,
tells out to the three that are still missing.
That's a good
We'll deal with that when we can.
Magnus, you, by the way, in your office have a locker with a spear gun, pistol, shotgun, and rifle. And other than your personal rifle, as far as you know, those are the only weapons on site. Do you want to arm either Morgan or Amanda?
I will arm both of them. I will give Amanda the pistol because it's 1980, and
You want to give the little gun to the little lady?
this packs quite a punch. So just be careful. This is and these shows how to work the safety and whatnot, and leaves it on.
I'm here to heal people, not hurt people. So hopefully I won't have to use it. But for the record, I know how to use it.
Very good.
So
Morgan, and then I'll gesture to the locker in a 1980s style thing. And shotgun, spear gun, what do you think? Just in case.
Takes the shotgun, pops the breech, clears the hole.
Okay, so I need
a box of shells.
I need a D12 for Magnus.
Mm-hmm. Just straight D12 is a 5.
So what he just did was military. There's nothing in his employee file that suggests he has military experience.
Noted.
Dude's a climber. But what he just did was a very automatic, done it 1,000 times kind of reflex action.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand veterans have a hard time like disguising because they just do it. So you catch that.
Noted.
The three of you head back out into the cove. You find out that the temperature has dropped. So your concern now is being out in this for more than maybe 10 minutes unless you're even more heavily like triple layers, and Gore-Tex was big. They discovered it in the 80s and everything was fucking Gore-Tex for a while. So you get some Gore-Tex line nonsense. But yeah, it's dangerous cold now.
I was thinking we would take the truck.
Or your eyes would be hurt. So you think the three of you with extra insulation, goggles, and then in the truck?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so all
at
three?
least to give us some shelter from the wind.
Okay.
Like the cab.
Roll let's have Magnus roll a d12. This is just for a random thing. 1 is terrible, 12 is good.
It was terrible.
Oh no!
It was not good. It was a
So-
It's not good, not terrible.
Truck
But not
won't
good.
start. So thing about vehicles, especially old, cranky, solid, not electronic, very reliable, except when you're dealing with extremes of temperature. So either something in its, car digestive system is frozen, or obviously, at this temperature, the metal might have frozen to metal. So you try to start it, and it doesn't even turn over.
I'll go get Mia.
Yeah, you might be able to bring it to life by bringing heaters in here and raising the temperature in the garage. Like, literally put big heat lamps on it and try to warm it up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not usable right now. Okay, so you go over to do that. Caroline, give me also a perception. It's perception day, apparently.
Okay. 5.
Let's see. Give me a medicine check, please. With the 5, I'm going to require a secondary roll.
7.
7's better. So Mia has been looking very pale, and you have that. You wrote that off too. We're not eating a lot. She's probably not feeling well. She's looking a lot better, and there's no direct explanation for it. So maybe a paranoid mind might go, did she steal food or whatever? But she's like a little pinchy and is not like kind of, exhausted and pale looking.
Mia, are you feeling okay? I noticed you looked a little pale earlier.
Hey, I had something in my stomach. If it's not feeling so good, I didn't want to mention it to make you
No, it's fine. Amanda was
concerned.
the one who mixed the foods. I'm sorry it didn't make you feel well.
Yeah, it's something about the way she cooks. I don't know. Is a little too experiment. I don't know what she puts in. Is not something I am familiar with, and ugh.
You made a horrific discovery. No wonder you're a little pale. I mean, that was no small thing to find out there in the snow. So
Bax is a good man, and I'd be heartbroken if anything happened to him. It does not look good. I don't want to assume the worst, but I can't. I don't know what to do.
Let me know if you need anything, if I can do anything for you.
Yeah.
The door opens and it's Morgan.
that was fast.
Car won't start. Mia,
It's been
you.
like 10 minutes, not too much longer. They only had to go over there and go blah, 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 and come back.
So that was fun.
Well, I've come.
Okay, so that leaves Dieter and Caroline alone.
Well, now that we're all alone, Miss Bell, I think our climbers might have a substance abuse problem. Look at them. Nobody has these muscles without some steroids or something that they take.
Caroline, give me a medicine roll, please.
Me?
Yep.
9.
You have
It's the
seen
80s. Everybody was buff.
How would you?
I love the fact there's 2 levels to this.
Jazzercise.
Everybody's jazz. Yeah,
Because
everybody's
there's those of
doing
us that were
step
around in the
aerobics.
80s and those of us that weren't. Okay, so Caroline, you have actually seen Morgan taking meds. And you've kind of written it off as this was also the dawn of the let's all take giant jars of vitamins. Period.
Yeah.
On the other hand, given what Dieter just said, it's possible. Like he's pretty hardcore and like on that line, like razor's edge all the time. And that could, because you made a medicine roll, yeah, that could be a symptom of a substance abuse problem.
So my question would be this: together with we have a med lab, we have my awesome centrifuge, we have a sample of his blood. If you want me to run it through a few tests and see if he maybe overdosed on something and went mad and just wandered out and cut his own wrists, I will gladly do it. I feel like I'm wasting my time here watching this stupid American.
Yes, I don't know how believable him going mad would be, even if he was on substances that were not allowed. But I think running his blood through tests would be a good idea to see if there's anything abnormal.
Well, if something sticks out, we might see it, and if not, well, then nothing's lost. Great.
Speaking of, I might go check his place in the barracks.
Very
Just
good.
double check.
All right. Well, I'll take. Blood sickle in the fridge. Where did we put it?
So you go over
I
there.
believe.
Mhm.
There is no such thing. Nothing has been stored in the medical compound.
Oh.
But
I don't know where Mia put it then.
well, you know what? When she comes back, just tell her to bring it to my lab. I'll do some more research.
I will. I'm gonna go check the barracks. I'll let you know if I find anything.
Very good.
So Mia, they show you the truck that won't start. You want to put some heat in it and try to bring it back to life?
Yeah.
Okay, go give me a tech roll.
I need to see if that's my. Is there a plus to my tech? I know there's a plus to my tech. I have to see the plus to my tech. Do you know it offhand, Mike? Oh, here we go. 99. Here I have it. Oh yeah, I have a +3 to tech.
Okay.
And I have a 14.
Wow.
Yeah. Vroom.
Well, it only takes her about 15 minutes. It would be less time, but it takes literally time to warm it up. But she has to bring in the heaters, bring the lamps, and
She's
you
all
warm
ready
it
for
up.
you.
Yeah, and it basically it's seized up. So once you warm it up enough, the metals, work right again. Using
Just make an excuse to step outside and just get some fresh air while the room's heating up, just to keep just an eye out. Totally not.
Stay close, director.
I need Morgan to make a perception.
8.
So when he goes outside, he actually puts his hood down. So for a couple of minutes anyway, he's standing in the full brunt of an Arctic storm that you were worried was going to give you like hypothermia, frostbite. He's not wearing his goggles; they're up on his head, and it's cold enough. The goggles are just there to avoid your fucking eyes freezing. And he's again looking like the guy in the Mountain Man cigarette commercials, like he just And he's also a big dude. Like he's got very much that vibe to him.
Yeah.
Early.
He's a manly man.
Dieter, I need a tech test, please.
All right. Please. 5 and 3, 8.
Okay. Did you want to be? Which barracks did you want to be in?
Bax's, right?
Yeah. So 1 probably.
So you're going to go look in his compound?
Yeah. See if there's anything alarming of note, substance abuse or otherwise.
You are doing that, and you hear from the corner where Dieter is, yes!
Did you make a discovery over there?
Oh, no, but oh my God, the interior lighting works. It's beautiful.
Wonderful. Let me know if you get any information on other things. I'll see your dollhouse later.
Sorry, the blood. I need the blood. Otherwise, I can't start it. So I thought I'd relax a little.
Of course. Continue on my way towards Bax's barrack.
So you're sorting through there. There is nothing really to find. You find his weed stash, but it's really beyond that. And he's also
So
got
substance abuse is a little different.
yeah, he's got a rubber banded stack of hustlers, that he's got under his mattress. He's got like one of the first foam exercise blocks, just a bunch of like dude bro paraphernalia.
Yeah. I mean, put a couple in my pocket just for posterity's sake to show Magnus, of course.
So there's also a little book that's a sketchbook.
Wow.
And there's little sketches of many of you,
Oh.
but there are more of the men than the women, and the men are depicted shirtless.
Huh, I didn't know he was an artist.
It's actually pretty good.
Well, I'll leave that there. His secrets deserve to stay with him wherever he is.
It being the 80s, which ear does he wear his earring in?
Yeah, which one?
This is a terrible
These
term,
jokes
but
only for old people.
it's the one we used, catcher. Yes, I've been to a disco.
What does that mean?
I think isn't that the right
No,
one?
you're a lady person, not from the 80s. It wouldn't apply to you at all. Thank God we're free of it. I loved a lot about the 80s, but for a lot of it, good Lord.
Well, which pocket is his bandana in, and what color is the bandana?
I was
Not
going
a
to say.
bandana. I would say the bandana will be on top of the sketchbook.
But what color was it?
Yeah.
And one of my favorite quotes from a Pixar movie.
This
and
is taking
all
me
that is
back.
is.
Oh my God. It's all coming back.
Well, I'll put that sketchbook right where I found it.
So
Interesting
Morgan,
knowledge,
Magnus,
but-
and Amanda, you're going to put your goggles on and fire up and head out into the cold.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Naturally.
So who's gonna do the driving?
I'm gonna have Morgan do it.
Oh, shocker.
I mean,
Alright.
do you want to drive Amanda? You can handle the rig?
No, it's fine.
Yeah, that's what I
My
thought.
nails back here.
Magnus, make sure you toss out the flares every 50 feet.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So you're gonna leave a breadcrumb of flares. So
Mhm.
you can't get anywhere near Jotun. You don't have enough flares to get all the way to Jotun. You can every 100 feet or so. I mean, you've got a box of them, but that's like miles.
I'm thinking we're going to aim to be sort of like going from where Bax bought it and then sort of in a
Head out
direction.
in that direction.
Okay. So over the area of the strip.
Yeah.
Okay. I need, not the driver. So if Morgan's driving, not Morgan. The other two people make perception rolls.
It's a natural one, but with my modifier, it's a 2.
Perception.
It's fucking snowing.
8.
8. Amanda.
It's new.
Thank
See,
God.
shit.
There is a sound like an enormous coyote howling from the bottom of a well.
What was that?
Huh? I've got this Ace of Base song stuck in my head right now.
Oh, I've got Hall and Oates. Here,
Ah.
switch with me. No, seriously, what? You're distracting me. Like, did you not hear that?
No, I had a little burp and I just was what?
There was like a howling, like a big dog.
Could you what?
Like,
Hold on.
okay,
Hold on a second, Morgan. Just
but it was like in a, so it's,
Morgan?
I don't know, like,
Tink, tink,
was
tink.
it meteor?
It's now hailing. So in the blizzard, there are also chunks of ice, frozen ice, and they're striking the truck.
Oh, I think things are getting worse.
Yes, they very much are getting worse.
We go on for another 15 minutes and then head back.
Although I have to say, this sound is kind of relaxing.
Right. Better than I suppose the howling wolf. I like work the spotlight with that little like the turn wheel, just sort of like scan around the area while we're going.
So let's have it be Tanya. Roll a d12. High is good, low is bad.
High is good, low is bad. Got it. 2.
No!
High, right?
Why?
So you're doing like, so I'm picturing going in the direction of where you found the blood. Then you're going kind of towards the strip. Then the ice fall starts happening and you're doing a turnaround. You're doing an arc so you can look on your way back. Halfway through that arc, the engine refreezes. So the truck stalls out.
How far of a walk are we looking at here?
Well, you're only looking at about 100, 150 meters, but it's with a very heavy storm and ice and howling winds.
The bludgeoning of hail that could turn golf ball sized at the drop of a hat.
It's beginning to do that. You're seeing, so that the camera would shift up so that you've got a metal roof, and it's golf ball divoting.
Are there any sort of supplies that we generally keep in the truck, like in the back at all? Or
There'd be a first aid kit. There'd be the general survival kit with survival supplies,
blanket,
a little bit of food, blankets. Yeah, the foil blankets especially.
Oh, do we have communication, like short range communication? Like
No, that all went out 3 weeks ago.
Even with
yeah, otherwise they could have called you.
No, I meant in the truck that is so close by 100 feet.
No. If you'd thought about it, like maybe you could do like flashlights, but like you're any
visibility.
So given to that, I would assume Morgan would turn on the radio, and it is static. So logically, you're not a technician, but it seems like short range should be fine. The storm should only deal with long range. This is something else. Maybe something about the storm. The storm doesn't seem exactly natural. And you're just getting nothing static.
I'm going to ask Amanda for the pistol. And I'm going to take the pistol, assuming she gives it to me.
What are you doing to that? I mean,
I'm going to fire 3 times into the air to alert the camp that we need assistance.
Okay.
And fire off a flare every couple of moments. Just, standard procedure when you're trapped somewhere. So roll down the window, take the pistol, and just pat, pat, pat.
I need the 3 people in the truck to roll a d12 and to not roll a 1, 2, or 3.
In the truck.
Yep.
7. Oh, so sorry.
7.
I rolled a 1.
No.
So I need a toughness.
Freaking 1.
Toughness save from Morgan.
Fortunately, Morgan's tough.
Yes, he is.
9 plus 2 is 11.
Okay, you're only going to take 2 hit points.
Good. Awesome.
Jesus.
And you're going to need another toughness save. This is the one to avoid injury.
Points. I took 2.
Hey, you're in the truck with me. We're fine.
That's true. You're literally sitting next to the metal.
But I got a window seat. The warmth of my body is blocking you and saving your life.
So second toughness?
Another toughness roll. 13. We're good.
Okay, so you're not wounded. So that's fine. What happened is some of the larger pieces have built up enough velocity. There's a weird thing that's a real phenomenon that really happens where if it drops far enough and it's hard enough, it's like being shot from a mast rider. And it literally, they're piercing the roof. Given that Tanya was already talking about looking around, I assume you can go immediately to let's put more layers, like if there's a tarp or something.
Yep, that's what I was looking for, was a tarp.
Yeah. So you start. Yeah, I'm not a mistake. Yeah. So you're going to begin tying that off. So at least when it comes through, if it loses enough velocity, it will then hit the tarp and stop.
Or even just take a hunting knife and remove the cushion of the seat and sort of,
Perfect. Yeah. So Tanya, give yourself a point of resolve.
Woo, yay.
I'm going to go back now because we've been with this group for a little bit. Dieter, that thing we're talking about, you want to do that?
So it's really horrible storm right outside, right?
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't. No, but I will go to Caroline. Oh wait, I'm in the barracks. But Caroline was in the barracks too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, she's in the barracks with you. She's right over there.
Now I had an idea, Caroline.
Mhm.
Oh, is that a stack of Hustler magazines? Interesting.
No, it's never mind. What was your idea?
Point. Let me thumbtack that for a second, because I was meaning to ask for Caroline to roll a d12 and add 2 to this roll. Okay, so something that you don't notice. It's not a problem. You don't blow up.
No.
All right, go ahead.
The storm is really loud out there, you know.
It is very loud.
I have an idea. Listen, it might not work, and maybe Mia can help. But imagine we cannot erect our antenna outside to maybe make contact with the team that we're missing, or maybe even backs because we can't reach anyone. But I am thinking that if we use enough wire and we string it inside the central hub, it might not be as good as our regular antenna, but I think it would be better than nothing. And we might pierce at least short range and maybe pick up our own team. Maybe they'll
Ellen, make a tech roll for me.
So add extra possibility of communication.
Well, I mean, what else do we have to do? I would say even if it's a 1 in a million.
So Izzy, tech roll, please.
Me?
No, it's Carolyn.
Oh.
8?
That's actually plausible. It's the way some of like the my dad was a CB nut. The whip antennas are just coils, and the idea is you're taking all that and you're putting it into a smaller area. It's the idea of taking it and separating it to protect it, but also having that length. Also, there is a coil of wire in the garage.
Oof. Well,
We can try.
well, if it helps, I mean, we cannot go after them, I assume, in this weather, but garage, huh? Across town square in this weather?
So Dieter, I need a d12 roll and add a 2 to it, please.
Oh boy, should I do
I
this?
believe some of the ropes might have been set up for Morgan,
It's an
but
8.
Yes,
Not
a few were. So you notice Morgan wears a hobo bag, the sort of progenitor of the messenger bag, and it's kind of ubiquitous. But even though he's doing something very directed and specific, his hobo bag isn't in his ship because you walk by it. You walk by his compound, which suggests he always has that bag.
Yeah.
Now, for whatever reason, you don't know, although I think Carolyn has some suspicions. But you know, that's the thing. All right, Mia, what are you up to while everybody is out doing various things?
Looking at the ice storm and wondering what's going on with that. This is not.
Even though the visibility is low, it is darker the direction of the drop. So kind of like when you're Texas driving and you see that evil on the horizon storm gathering, kind of like that.
How am I feeling physically?
I mean, you're feeling better. You're feeling a little revived, still a bit hungry. The cold is bothering you a little, but not that much. You know, you'd be more worried about the people that you're with. I mean, this is going to be hard to live through, and it doesn't seem to be calming. It seems to be getting worse.
Did we hear the shots
Hasn't happened.
Huh? It hasn't happened yet.
Yes.
Okay. And
Trust me.
Dita is gone.
Yeah, he's off doing something.
Oh, I'm gonna look into his little dollhouse.
Okay.
What the was there?
So that's
Ficken
where
is
we are,
das.
right? We're in Barrack 1.
Well, you've left
Oh,
by the time this happens.
got it.
And answer to your question, yes, you are. Okay, so
Investigating.
we end up with I'm gonna pull the camera up. We don't have drones because it's 1986, even though it's pretend camera work, but it would be a crane shot, which is very expensive. But you got that nice crane shot. And we would then see that as Dieter and Carolyn are moving this way, that Mia is moving that way. So they kind of miss each other. And at that point, all three look up the direction of the poor camera guy in the fake cold on the crane, because there is a shot.
Whoa!
That's the ice.
Well, you don't see each other yet. So it's coming from the direction that you know that the party in the truck went.
Yeah. Carolyn, I might be mistaken, but that looks like an emergency flare. Are they in trouble?
Did you chase the gunshot with a flare?
Suppose
I did.
Let's
3 shots and 1
assume
flare. So like the universal signal for trouble.
So the only thing I'm going to need is for timing. I need Emily to roll a d12 to see if she looks in Dieter's compound in that timing before she gets together with the group.
Do I add anything to it, or is it just a straight?
Nope, just random chance.
10. Scene.
You look in his booth. Thing 1. Sitting out is like an X-Acto knife and a cutting sheet and some wood glue and stuff like that. You open up his toolbox, and in the toolbox are electronic tools. So there's like a soldering iron, there's like little snips, there's little tweezers. The stuff in there is not really for dollhouse making.
Mm-hmm.
There's also rattling around the bottom of that drawer like little diodes and bits of wire. Then you look at the dollhouse, and the work is excellent. But it looks exactly like the house from Little House on the Prairie. Like exactly that house.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks a little weird, and you realize you pick it up, and it's like, when they made, and this is also sadly a 60s thing, they made cozies for everything.
Yep.
Often crocheted, but they go over fucking toasters.
Mm-hmm.
So there is under the house a little area for something that was being worked on, and it was hiding it. But whatever it was is gone.
Mm. Is there anything else there I can see that's interesting?
That's going to be your full load of interesting for the moment, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Do you then go out and answer the gun, or you just let the others go answer it and you get up to something else?
I'm going to go to see what's going on with the gun.
The 3 of you in the truck. I need Amanda to roll a d12 for me.
Our luck's got to break.
All right, what was it? Did you say I got a modifier?
Nope.
10.
Oh,
that's awesome.
I just wanted to make you worry.
Successful.
You can make a reaction save.
Reaction. 8.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question that may seem strange, that will make sense only to you. You have never been hit by a chunk of falling ice before.
I was going to ask if I could stick my hand out the window, but they're in the way, aren't they?
Namaste. So I'm not going to, because you get what I'm getting at, I don't have to have the rest of this sideways conversation.
So there are 2 things that I'm while we're kind of snugged.
Mm-hmm.
is I'm really, if I can, I'd love to be able to like kind of stick my hand out there.
Yep.
The other one is because we're in here, I really want to know what they smell like these two guys on either side of me.
Huh. Okay, so the smell is easier, and let's do that first.
Okay.
1 perception roll for Morgan.
I'm just cozying up for warmth.
So make a perception roll. Not so Morgan's not making the roll, you are. So Amanda, I need a perception roll.
Okay. You said perception?
Yep.
8.
He smells like what's that before Icy Hot, there was like a definitely 80s like a
Ben Gay.
Tiger
Yeah,
Bomb.
like Ben Gay.
Tiger Bomb.
8535.
Thanks, Andreas.
Ben
Tiger-
Gay, Tiger Bomb.
Tiger
Yeah,
Bomb.
Tiger Bomb.
I'm thinking that was super 80s was the fucking Tiger
Yeah.
Bomb. He smells like Tiger Bomb and lizards.
And lizards.
Lizards.
Huh.
Amanda has a cousin that has a lizard.
Yeah.
Smells
Like
a little like that.
Yeah, one of those bearded dragony things.
Yep. And there's always a very particular smell
Yeah.
that those creatures have. And part of it's the environment, part of it's the creature.
Odd.
Another roll for Magnus.
Looking at you, Morgan.
7.
He smells like bone
Okay.
and campfires
Okay.
and testosterone. Like
Okay. I mean, he's a big guy. I mean, he's older.
Amanda
But...
would find herself reacting a little.
Okay. Yeah, I snuggle closer that way because that's less weird than the lizard thing that's happening.
And then you stick your hand out the window.
Yeah.
You
I
roll for 10.
Uh-huh.
1 does you the favor of passing right through your hand like stigmata. Make a willpower save.
Okay. Oh, not my strong suit. 9.
Okay. Do you want to hide the fact that your reaction would be a joyful giggle?
What?
Or you just
I
let
think
it
it comes off. I think it comes out kind of like starts to come out as a giggle, and then it clicks, and then she's like,
right,
make it more like a.
Read the room. Yeah. So now I need a toughness save.
All right. 12.
Wow.
You are so
take
tough.
2 points of damage, but you're not wounded.
It's still coming down a lot out there. It's
Do you just naturally just start gauzing up the wound?
yeah, I sort of like half-ass it and then slip a glove over it.
You assume you kind of look at it while you're doing it?
No.
Okay, so it's just done and done?
Yeah, I just sort of, but then like I'm gonna keep kind of pushing at it just when like here and there, kind of absent-mindedly. We're probably just gonna have to snuggle in a bit because it's probably gonna be a while before they can get to us because boy, it's coming down.
Yes, we can hear it on the metal roof of the truck.
Right, but metal, it makes sounds.
Were you hurt?
Like when you have a metal roof and it's raining and it sounds like it's coming down buckets, but really it's just sort of a gentle rain.
Were you hurt?
No, I'm fine.
But there was. Why were you putting gauze on it then?
Oh, I mean, it's like ice burn. Like when you slip and you fall and you get a little ice burn. I just wanted to, it's nothing major, but safety first.
I'm just gonna go ahead and pew pew pew, and then those flares. Like fuck that. Reload.
Subject change.
It's like
I love the idea that the two guys get completely creeped out by the perky co-ed. and then throw up another flare.
Help us!
Okay, so Mia and Caroline, you're gonna head over to the truck, right?
Yeah.
I need to know if there's something I can go under because it's going to be icing because they've already started booming during the ice.
It is. So
can I get over there?
You can. You'll probably take some damage. So you want to try to find something you can hold up to deflect.
Mm-hmm.
Folding tables.
Yeah, great.
We each grab one end of it.
So
well, have we connected because we were kind of like this?
I think hearing the gunshots, I ran at least as far out of the building as I could and still be under some.
Moot because I'm going to point out to Caroline, you're not particularly physically robust. It's the idea of running across to the airstrip carrying a folding table over your head. It's up to you. You have complete freedom of play. But what do you think at this point you'd do?
You know, Mia, that's a really good idea. I will wait here so that when you all get back, I have the medical supplies ready because Amanda's on the mission. You know, if she's hurt, then she needs someone looking after her. I'll go check the tent, the med area.
Do you do anything while you're alone in the hub?
Again, check the med area, make sure everything is running smoothly, and look into the idea that Dieter brought up. See if we have any of the supplies we might need.
You actually look out and you see him about to go into the garage.
Okay.
So he's probably bringing the wire. So you want to like clear an area for him and set up? Because he told you his plan.
Mm.
Okay, so that third area in those three little humps is a general sciences research bin.
Yeah.
So you can definitely set that up there.
Yeah, set up whatever I think he might need.
Like a tripod that you could wrap the wire around. So you make a tech roll to see how well you do your assist to Dieter's plan.
6.
Okay. Dieter, I need a toughness save, please.
Oh, that's my special.
I didn't electrocute you.
Nah. Oh God, 5.
Okay, this is from the cold. The ice is the second concern. The cold does 4 hits.
Oh God.
And then make a toughness save to avoid that being technically a wound.
Ow. Natural 12 plus 1, 13.
Okay, so not a wound.
God.
Make a reflexes save to avoid the ice.
Reflexes? Reaction, you mean?
Yeah, sorry.
Got it.
Sorry, I'm running 6 different game systems.
No worries. 9 plus 1 is 10.
Okay, so literally we see the gangly professor dodging ice, running across. You make it there. You see him go in, and he's got a big roll of ice under his arm. You want to run back?
You know what? Gotta wait. Maybe it clears up a little. I'm just gonna chill for a moment
over
in the garage. Just a moment. Just close the door. Oh God! Oh, God.
Okay, Mia, you are gonna run over, and so you see her doing her heroic run with ice tinging off the folding table. I'm gonna need 1 toughness roll.
Okay.
What
A toughness save? Okay.
Yep.
Fuck.
Yeah.
12.
Okay. Wow.
Where were you
So
before?
you're really avoiding serious injury. It's kind of amazing. So you're not wounded, but you just took some damage. She makes it over to you. They've managed to get stuck into the car and it's not moving again. You can try to get it going, but the solution last time was warming it up.
Mm-hmm.
So make a tech roll, but you're going to roll twice and use the worst of the 2 rolls.
3.
It's not going to get going until it's warm. So the best you can do is pick someone up and run them back.
Okay.
And that would not be Magnus. He's far too large.
No, I'm going to take Amanda.
Amanda, do you suffer the? Are you cool being picked up and run back under the folding table?
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Okay. Make a perception roll for me.
Uh, 5.
Even with a 5, Mia's not very warm. So you're kind of expecting when you're picked up by somebody to get warmed up by the proximity. That's not happening.
Well, that's disappointing.
So she runs back. I need a reaction roll for me. Reaction save.
Who?
So you have to dodge Mia, because
Okay.
you have to dodge the storm.
11.
She runs you back. All right. So Morgan and Magnus.
Yeah.
You're not getting this thing going. Mia has evac'd Amanda.
Wow. She is much stronger than I give her credit for.
She was also actually give me a perception roll, Morgan.
2, getting better.
Yeah, it's real hard to see.
It's real hard.
It's super snowy out. It's true.
Yeah.
So what did the two of you do?
Well, I mean, this isn't going to get any better. What are the odds that we could use like the seats that we kind of pin to the top?
You can absolutely do the same thing that Mia was doing. It'll be a little less effective because the seats are not as effective as the table was, but you could try it, absolutely.
I think it's the only option we have at this point.
Other than shelter in place, and I don't particularly want to.
And you look out, and it's actually forming ice on things. Like the immobile, partially assembled antenna, the snow is icing, so it's covered in like a sheath of ice.
Like freezing rain. We get that all the time here in Canada.
It's true.
We don't want to be in a truck when it happens.
No.
You
All
wanna
right.
run back?
Well, we're going to run back, I guess. Sling
Okay.
the rifle over the back, tuck the
The
pistol.
first save is a reaction save, and this is to make sure you're going to get through with just one set of saves.
Fucking 12.
Okay, so you run fast. How's your run fast, Morgan?
My run fast? Yeah, athletics.
I use athletics.
Hey, 7.
Mine would have been
Okay.
14 if we used athletics.
So now you both need to make a toughness save. This is from the exposure.
9.
Okay.
3.
So what you're not going to tell me? Okay, you take 2 points of damage, Morgan, and have to make another toughness save to avoid being wounded.
Yikes.
You're still good hit point wise, though, right?
I'm still good. Yeah, I'm good. Great. 9 plus 2, 11. I'm
And
good.
nobody is wounded yet.
Nobody is
Hey,
taking wounds here. Getting pummeled the
If he
crap
looks
out
like
of.
he needs help, I'm going to bro out and,
The entire group, except for Dieter, is now back at the hub. Dieter, I need a tech roll, please.
Also, since I have a moment to myself, I will break out one of the emergency heating pads and relax a little and try to get some hit points back. But yes, tech roll. That's 3. So it is, oh, God, a 10 plus 3.
dives in.
All right. So hang on 1 second. Yeah.
Like
Roll a
the
d8
laugh.
to get some hit points back.
Yeah, an 8, it's 7, but I only have 4 missing.
Okay, so you are recovered to fall. So you've warmed yourself up and you've used the first aid kit. And you've got some points back.
Mhm.
You plug it in to the makeshift antenna. There's a pause, then a series of lights, and then like a little twilling beep that means you have connection. What
One-
message do you send?
Well, the obvious one. Initiate meltdown, emergency meltdown.
Okay. So you don't have the kind of connection where it's like a walkie-talkie, but you believe you have good contact. So you just basically send and you get the response. So do you unplug it and then?
Nah, I leave it on continuous send. So in case it clears up, maybe the first one didn't go through. As long as it goes, I'll do it.
Perfect.
And I will grab the rest of the wire and hustle my way back to the compound.
And what does the rest of the group do in the hub?
Warm up, first and foremost.
So do we have like the equivalent of hot hands?
I don't remember those being a thing in 86.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember there being an electric version. Like they were like
would be a camp heater, which is very similar to the ones we have now. That's probably propane based.
Yeah.
And you would warm up on that, and you'd have several of those in there.
Yeah, I have the heaters going and prep for them coming back.
Amanda has like taken off all of the like wet snowy gear and taken off her socks and has got her feet really close to one of these little heaters and is just like wiggling her toe.
Struggling to have an effect, so you need to kind of all huddle, and you can see out the window that the camp is now covered in basically ice. So it is definitely getting worse.
Right, so
where is Klein?
As I come in with everybody else, I'm going to just look at Carolyn and be like, status report. Where is that little German annoyance?
When he comes in,
is
by the
setting
way,
up a basic communications
sorry, what?
boost. He's trying to communicate with our team.
And he thought of this today?
Yes.
Where?
In the garage. He's putting it together. I think I put part of it here so that we could get a better signal across the camp in short range at least.
All right, come along, little buddy, and I'll give Morgan a slap on the back.
so when he entered, by the way, as many of you were noticing that the camp is frozen, he comes in and his hood is down. Right, he's got like almost dashing adventurer look to him, and whereas the rest of you are all, Jesus Lord, and he is not at all acting.
We're going to have a talk, Director, but later.
Let's go get a signal for some rations or our team or whatever this little Kleiner German has figured out here.
Agreed.
At this point, there's a sound like a thunderclap, and that immense coyote down a well sound can be heard again, louder and closer.
Scheiße.
There, see, I wasn't crazy. That's what I heard.
Does that sound familiar at all?
Yeah, does that sound familiar at all?
Nope.
Okay.
Mia, do you have that blood sample from Bax? You brought it back, right?
Blood sickle.
I put it in the specimen.
Which one? Will you show me exactly where? Because
Not sure.
Dieter wanted to test it, of course.
For what?
I
He's
put
a
it in there.
metallurgist.
Yeah, what has he to do with the blood? Yeah.
See if there was anything unusual, suspicious. I mean, he wanted Amanda to help him, just to see if his disappearance could be explained away by something else.
There was a deafening explosion. I'm going to ask for rolls. This is simultaneous, but I'm going to go around. I am going to need a reaction from Morgan.
6.
That's good enough. Carolyn, reaction.
10.
That's good enough. Reaction from Magnus.
10.
Reaction from Amanda.
10.
And reaction from me.
11.
And reaction from Dieter.
3 + 1, 4.
So I need a toughness for Dieter.
3 and 1 is 4.
Okay, so take 2 hits. You are now wounded. You get a wounded condition called.
Ow.
So what happens is there's this massive concussive noise, and the earth does that thing where it comes up in a wave, and that concussive wave hits the camp front to back. So when you're in the hub, and most of you are, it will knock over poles, tables. The main central tent partially collapses. The area that Dieter's normally working in, that basically just falls apart. You can't really see beyond it. Yeah, you're using your Star Trek training. And then it gets very quiet. So there's like a boom, and then nothing. Ow!
Dita, we need to get you some medical.
Dieter's not with you.
Oh,
He was in the garage.
Can we see the garage from where we are?
Well, first thing is you're going to want to put up the bowl. You're going to partially collapse post.
Yeah. All right.
Clear out the debris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then when you look out, you can see the garage. The garage is partially collapsed. Dieter, do you want to go to a window and wave?
Yeah.
Dieter!
I'm going to go over.
So you're going to go over?
Yep.
I'm going to start suiting up.
Is it still icing out there?
It is not.
Wait, are we in the hub?
Okay. Everyone's in the hub except for you.
Then I'm going to go to the med bay because I assume that.
Okay.
Amanda, I will bring Dita over to you.
Huh?
Amanda, I will bring Dita to you.
Yeah, if anybody's got any bumps or bruises.
We can easily make that happen. We don't need to play that all out. You can move him, especially if he's willing to go with you, and you can have something like you can get the table as you want it.
Okay, Magnus, where's...
I want to talk to him as soon as he's able to speak. He makes a radio and the bloody place blows up.
It's fine. Where is the sturdiest building?
Well, I mean...
The sturdiest building is usually the garage.
And that's half collapsed. That's great. There's no sturdier building than this.
What's the second sturdiest building?
Well, barracks are shit. The mess is, so let's call it the map cult. So we're all looking at the same thing.
Just in case there's another one like this.
The stores are actually they were prefab. They're actually meant to be secure. So I'd have to say, actually, the stores, they're smallish, but you could actually all fit in one. They're storage buildings.
Okay, if it seems like there's going to be another explosion or anything else happens to collapse the building, we need to get to the stores.
Yep.
So you, instead of going Dieter to you want to pick him up and move everybody to the stores?
Do we think it's dire enough to move there now? Mag?
You don't know what happened.
Yeah, I've already gone.
Okay.
I would have already gone out to get him.
Yeah.
Let's get Dieter secure and
so I'm going to do this careful step by step to make sure my order of events is correct. So Mia has gone to get Dieter. So that is an action in progress. The rest of that group, are you together or is that broken up into groups at all?
I don't think Magnus would allow for a breakup, to be honest, given the current circumstances.
So where do those 4 people go? Or do they stay at the hub for now?
I mean, I'm just in the medical pod, so
you're all basically.
Yeah. So I hope that isn't a breakup, because otherwise
I think we should probably shelter in place. We all move together.
Okay, we're not all fitting in this medical pod.
Not all in the medical pod, but in the least broken areas of the hub.
Those people in there with the medic, by the way, once per session per character, a character can rest for at least a few moments, somewhere relatively safe to recover D8 hit points. This can never be done in combat or during a chase. This is neither of those things. Wounded character requires someone to make a medicine test. None of you are wounded. So any of you in the hub right now that's down hit points can use your once a game D8 recovery, just basically and get back some hit points.
Nice.
Cool.
Well, if I'd known that, I would have done that before I'd gone to get
That's
Dieter.
fine. Go ahead.
Okay. All right.
Nice. Does that apply to sanity as well?
Sanity is harder to get back.
I need someone to be nice to me.
Watch the movie.
Watch the movie.
Not wrong.
Watch The Day the Earth Stood Still. Great. Awesome.
Recovering sanity is a time-consuming process once per session. If a character is somewhere where they feel safe for at least an hour, they may recover a D8 sanity. An unstable character can't do this alone. Somebody has to be with them trying to help them.
Yeah. I haven't felt safe for a day, so
Yeah,
I'm good.
so
I'll keep that
Yeah.
sanity loss.
you're a
as
little
it is.
edgy.
Yep.
Okay, so you've run out to there. The 4 people wait. Mia, as you're going to get Dieter, make a perception roll for me.
14.
Wow.
Wait, my perception is. Let's see.
Sounds higher than 10 no matter what it is.
Yeah, it's gonna be
So
way higher.
the explosion was enough of a blast that it pushed back the blizzard. So it's like dropping, the effect looks a little like dropping a stone in a pond, like it kind of does this. There is a trail of black smoke the direction of the drop, and you could swear you see a figure in the storm about 40 feet tall. Make a willpower. This is willpower against sanity. You have a special thing for that,
Yeah,
right?
I do.
So go ahead and use that.
Oh, well. Okay. Got it. Oh yeah. 13.
Okay. So that means you're only going to take 1 sanity, but you do take 1 sanity, and then make a willpower save to avoid becoming unstable.
Another at advantage.
Nope, this is just a straight save.
Right, that went leaning on side. Okay. That is 12.
Okay, you are not unstable. So you've just taken a little shock from seeing it. You only catch a glimpse of it. You're not sure what it was. It was humanoid, maybe had more than 2 arms.
All right.
So you run up to Dieter,
Mhm.
make a perception roll.
4.
There's Dieter, all right.
I'm here.
Okay. I want to try the thing. Is there any way I can do the thing, Mike, that I asked you about? We're in the second reel, are we?
Yeah.
So go ahead and make a.
Not.
You go ahead and write. It was Facebook. Either say it out loud, and we're going to play along and pretend we didn't hear it, or Facebook message me.
Oh, Facebook. I was chatting you in here.
I never use that chat. I can't see it properly.
Okay. Yeah.
Here. I'm fine.
Yeah. Nice to see you. I'm glad you look a little worse for wear there,
Yeah, he hit his
Professor.
head or something.
Just a few bumps. I'm fine.
We're all fine
If you
here.
can,
How are
keywords
you?
fine.
So what can I tell is wrong with him?
Oh, right. Yeah. So you have to like grapple and attack to do that.
Okay.
Okay. Well, okay. You stopped me from that. That's what I was going to have you do. Roll
All right.
D12. I'm
All right.
with you. I see you, sister.
And
Fine.
what
Probably again.
I like how you're playing into it. I'm in this dangerous neighborhood with all this money. You know.
Yeah.
Add your combat bonus.
Which is 9.
Okay. I will give there a chance for him to react, which would be make a perception roll. Dieter, it would have to be pretty high, but there's a chance you can react.
I doubt it. Oh, let me. This fresh dice.
There's always possibilities, right?
Well, it would be a perception. It would be a 13. Sorry, it's an 11. But I would say I'm just happy somebody is coming.
So she looks like would it look like she's gonna hug you actually?
Thank you. I think what? I think my foot is under this beam. If you could.
Yeah, you look like you're in trouble there, Miss Professor. I can help you here.
Great.
Okay. So you are now being grappled.
Ah!
And here's the weird part. Mia needs to make a toughness save.
5.
You are wounded. Can I have a wound flag, please? You pull back. She's got green blood dripping down her face and fangs. That wasn't human blood, Mia.
This is not what humans do, I say. This is very interesting. And I pull my pen from my pocket.
You are very interesting too, Herr Professor.
This needs to be noted. And I pointed at her and clicked the special sequence.
Make a combat attack. So he has a concealed needler in his pen.
All right.
It would only be a combat, you say? A 5, but I would use my resolve to re-roll that.
Do that. Yeah, I can
Oh,
see
we
that.
can
What did you need to re-roll?
I would have re-rolled my my toughness.
Well, sadly,
Okay,
but it's over. Never mind.
Sadly, it's only a 5.
Okay. That makes narrative sense.
Sense still.
So he pulls it up exactly like Andreas is doing, and it makes a sound, and it shoots out. Well, he misses you, fortunately, because you see it goes through an engine block and the back of the building and the tree outside and a boulder. It's only a very small hole, but it goes right through all of them.
I see.
I have to disable this asshole.
Are you hungry? I gotta disable this asshole. We're gonna disable each other.
I need the both of you to make a combat test.
No.
Initiative.
Oh, great. Hep. And that is a 4.
10.
Okay. So he's holding up his pen aggressively. During the fight, his hat and wig have fallen off. He is very bald. And now that you realize he always kind of keeps to himself and he's very careful about always kind of looking down and away. He's not human.
Fine.
He is different enough that unless you're very careful, he's been very careful about hiding himself. But now with all that off and the
green blood that doesn't taste right.
So you are going to disarm him?
Yeah.
Make a combat check.
Not the one I just made.
Science.
Nope. That was an initiative roll.
12.
Okay. Do you want to just unarmed disarm or do you want to deal damage?
No, I want to beat him up. I want to disable him.
Do you have a D4 handy?
I can.
Go ahead and roll that D4.
I have one. I just am not picking it up right now. There it is. There it is. 999. Do not fly away from me, my dear. 3.
Okay. So you take 3 hits. Make toughness save to avoid being wounded. And Emily, I am going to go back and spend that resolve and go ahead and redo that test.
Nope.
Okay, so give me a wound flag. Oh, he's not. Oh, he has a wound flag.
He already had one.
So that means, hang on. A wounded character.
No.
Which would be you.
No. Not double wounds.
Yeah. So
he is, given the nature of the attack, she moves with speed you have never seen a human move with before.
Interesting.
She snaps your hand off at the wrist.
Now.
And just naked bone just takes it off. You drop to your knees and are dying. Do you have any dying words?
Uh, thank you.
And you hear from the transmitter in your language, which she doesn't understand, ship destroyed. Further orders?
I'm good. Thank you.
So he says something in an alien language. There's a beep from the bottom of the antenna you didn't notice. And it then sparks and a line of smoke comes out of it. And the bald, green-blooded alien at your feet dies.
Good luck.
Can I? Oh, yeah, you put up the death already. All right. So we now return to.
So I re-rolled that and got an 11, by the way, Mike.
So you're not wounded.
All right.
So Carolyn,
Glad.
Morgan, Magnus, and Amanda. You just bide your time till they come back.
Relax, get hit points back.
And you're feeling much better, right? You made a happy die roll face.
A happy die roll face.
good,
Yes.
good.
Yes.
All right.
Magnus.
No perception rolls necessary. You now all hear. Remember that kind of tribal singing or chanting?
Mm-hmm.
All four of you can now hear that from outside.
Okay. First,
Does
the
it sound
coyote
familiar?
howled, no.
Nope, doesn't sound familiar to anybody.
Can anybody else hear that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Can anybody not?
I mean, I can also hear.
Okay, first the coyotes and now this. I'm starting to believe that there's something in the air. It's not.
There's definitely something outside the hub.
Shouldn't Mia and the prof be back by now?
They should. Just like Bax and our teams.
Okay, it's getting really uncomfortable and disconcerting. Now,
Cover up the windows. Anything where something can get through. Barricade. We need to
secure the building. Okay.
Yes.
You want to leave enough of a hole to look out?
Sure, a little arrow slit type of thing, fine. But the idea is to secure all the exits except for the main door. Magnus, watch the door.
So is everyone armed?
I am.
no,
Two
somebody
guns.
took my lady pistol away.
I'm not sure what I would be armed with, but
A pen and paperwork.
I grab a knife from the med center.
Very
I was about to
John
say.
Hamm of you.
I got your pink slip, Magnus, right here.
I'm the new director. No, I guess grab a knife from the med center or the kitchen or something.
So Mia, would you go back to the hub?
Yeah, I'd go back with some. If I could easily carry Dita, I would come back. I wash my face. Oh my God, what was this thing?
Okay, so she comes in holding what now looks kind of like an alien. You also, by the way, when you pick him up and you're close, he's completely hairless. So those are stick-on eyebrows.
Would that?
I thought he was just German. It's too be like.
Morgan will step over and investigate closely. Does that look at all familiar?
Nope.
Amanda's also.
That's news to everyone.
Was ist das?
It's not human.
No kidding.
Something.
Carolyn, you're at one of those little holes that he left. There is a elderly, apparently Inuit woman walking towards the hub. And she's got like the hide and fur, like definitely the super Arctic gear.
You're clearly hallucinating.
I will go and talk to her, assuming I find out that knowledge.
Do you share that, Carolyn?
Oh.
She's gone.
Apologies, I looked away for half a second.
Did Izzy not hear what I said? You slipped a
I was
cog.
waiting.
You're in shock.
I was looking at the notes and I
You're so young for your brain to be taking trips. There is a elderly Inuit woman approaching the hub.
that leaf who found?
You're looking through one of the arrow slits and you see an elderly Inuit woman coming through the snow towards us.
Towards us. Yeah.
Remember that spear from the generator thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I know who it belongs to.
Mhm.
Cover me. I'm going out to talk to her.
Back him up with a shotgun.
Magnus.
Magnus, are you sure?
I've got reason to feel confident.
Query.
Yeah.
While I've been checking out the professor, like, does it look like he was injured by a collapsing building?
No. It looks like you remember movies about vampires that Amanda watched?
Uh-huh.
Like his neck is all fucked up.
What?
His head is snapped off.
What has happened to him?
He met me with this tool, and I had to use it on him. He tried to shoot me, and it shot a hole through like 15 things, and I couldn't get it to go out, so I had to stab him with it to get him off of me. He just turned on me when I went in.
Regular for just
What did-
stabbing.
What did you
I gotta
stab him?
say.
What are you
What
saying,
does regular
Amanda?
look like for stabbing? I tried to stab him twice. He moved a little bit.
So
You asked
there's
what?
this thing, right, that random doesn't come out even though human brains think that if like when they draw a random pattern, everything's evenly spaced, but that's not really how random happens. So when you're randomly stabbing, the holes should be not equally spaced from each other. That's what I'm saying.
Is this really something you want to look like right now?
While the Inuit woman is
While the
outside.
40-foot tall thing out there is coming toward us.
What?
40-foot high thing out there. Do you not see this? Are you talking about a little old woman? There is a man or something like a man that's 40 feet tall. 17 arms it has. It's coming towards us.
Wait, Mia.
And I exit.
Did you eat
you were out of it.
anything out of Bax's quarters?
Oh,
Touch
Out of-
anything?
Out
like
of
these?
Bax's quarters.
I mean, I'm just asking.
I
Seen-
did not go to Bax's quarters.
Morgan exits the building and he heads out. The woman
Reluctantly, because really, this is fascinating, but you've
no,
got
sorry,
to
not
follow up
Morgan.
Magnus.
I used too many M names. Magnus.
Yeah.
Magnus stepped out 5 minutes ago.
Right. Morgan.
Magnus, she's standing there. She does not have a spear. She's got a staff, and it's got things tied to it hanging from it.
Mm-hmm.
She stands there.
Okay, so I'm not being at all threatening, rifle shouldered. And I will walk up to her. Grandmother, do we speak a common language?
She speaks, but you hear in whatever language she's speaking and in your native tongue. You don't belong here. None of you belong here.
I know. I'm trying to get them away from here, which after today should be fairly easy.
We have called the earth to cleanse itself.
That's the storm.
It is the Wendigo.
Why have you come then?
To ask you to give you the opportunity to leave if you can.
Thank you. And I'm responding in the native language, obviously. Thank you.
We have known of your people for some time. You alone of those within may leave and not leave this sphere, so long as you leave these lands. If you go back to the hiding places and do not turn back, you will be spared. But you must leave now. And you can see the thing now. So in the distance, there is a four-armed, horned something that isn't in the storm, it is the storm.
Oh. Well, then I will say in my native language, fuck them if they can't take a joke. And start to breathe heavily. And go full Yeti and fucking take off.
So his clothes rip, he drops his rifle, and he becomes a white furred Yeti, about 7'5" and weighing probably about 700 pounds. And you, Carolyn, you see this too, because you're a girl at the peephole. Make a willpower save, please. This feels like at some point somebody got to lose some sanity.
And I'm gonna let out while I do this, like the full-blooded, like God's, like the King Kong roar.
So you, in this case,
just like pounce off into the storm.
So that was
but that was a different sound.
So that was a 6 point. I'll get back in a second. It was a 6 point sanity hit. You made the save. You take 3, and you're still going to need to make a second willpower to avoid becoming unstable, because that was fucked up.
Was it? Was it surprising after seeing an alien body though?
Yeah, still.
7.
You are not unstable. Wow, you are a very durable group. All right, so he runs off to go rejoin the wilder side of your people. All right, I need a skull. It's not really a skull, but let's go ahead and skull him. Colt, we need to blank him.
He just goes. He just leaves.
Yeti him.
Yeah, he runs off basically north on that map, just into the snow.
Well, I don't know how to explain what I just saw, but
the woman
Magnus is gone.
The woman is coming to the door.
What? Like dead? Gone? Gone.
Gone.
Beamed up? Gone?
Gone. Ran off.
Yeah, specificity. Aye.
Okay, you really want me to explain exactly what I just saw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna think I'm crazy.
Oh.
No,
I
what?
don't think
You
there's
saw
any
an
danger of
alien
that.
here.
I just heard gesturing
He
to
turned
Klein's
into-
body.
He turned into a Yeti and ran off into the snow.
Saw it from that front of this and down.
Towards the giant thing that you saw. I don't think he was ever on our side.
Actually, not towards. He went like it's there. He went away. He effed off.
Into the storm.
Yeah, that's true. And
I
at
don't
this
think he
point,
was ever on our side.
You hear thump, thump, thump on the door.
Everybody stay back.
Okay, so you see the old woman, and she says loudly, and you all hear her voice, but overlaid on that, you hear in each of your own native tongues, you do not belong here. None of you.
When you say native tongue.
Yeah.
Okay.
You haven't heard that in a long time.
Okay, time to go.
I think we need to go.
Yeah, I'm out.
Do we have a truck that works?
If you can leave this place, you will be spared. If you cannot, the earth will cleanse itself.
Oh, well, that sounds hella not fun.
How?
We have called the earth to defend itself. The Wendigo storm will consume you.
But like everybody or
It's
just
very
Foxy?
clever.
Just you.
Just what?
To the garage. Do we have
Foxy?
another truck?
9.
There is no escape.
So how do we leave?
However you came here. And if you can't, I have no pity for you and no mercy either. And at that point, she drops dead.
Okay.
I'll be back. 1 second.
All right.
Okay, so Carolyn leaves the room.
Where are you going?
I'll be back. Don't worry.
And Mia loads her laser cap.
I want to go get Foxy Fox.
Now, Foxy Fox would be in your barracks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, probably in a little alien style carrier thingy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mia, is there anything you need to go get? Perhaps a suitcase?
9.
So, Morgan, what do you do?
God, this place is insane. Do I have a communicator?
Yeah, it's in your body, your hobo bag. Okay, so it makes a connection, and it's been unable to make the connection since the storm started. So you think that Dieter's antenna is actually allowing it to connect. So you get a connection.
I go stand near Dieter's body. Get me out of here now.
I
And
ran
grab
off to do the
Dieter's
same.
body.
So I gotta do the timing on this. Carolyn has left. Amanda has left.
Yes.
Magnus would have heard that side of the conversation, but it's not in English. So he's saying something into like a walkie-talkie thing. Do you interrupt or you just? Oh no, you're not there.
No, he's not.
So
He's
Mia
No,
is the one that's in the room.
Mia's right
He's
there. Yeah.
out.
You're not. Are you interfering with that or doing something else?
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna try and grapple him and get a ride out of here.
Okay.
Star Trek 4
Because I know where
styles.
this is going. The fight rolls are not necessary. He doesn't fight back, and in a moment you'll find out why. So you take him down to the ground with a tackle.
I just
What
want to hold him
happens
so
is-
they get him out of here, and I go with.
Yeah, I know that's what you think.
Yeah,
so
that's probably gonna
over
happen.
the little communicator, music starts playing. This is a patriotic death anthem. They're letting you know that you're expendable. So get me out of here in this case means
Blow my shit up.
you're going to be well, it doesn't even have to as a result of that. You are partially cybernetic. So Mia, you take him down, you see like anxiousness, but then a calm come over his face as the music's over the radio. And then you hear like a from his chest and he just dies.
Motherfucker.
All right, Carolyn was the first one to say something. Where are you going?
I was gonna run to the barracks and do pretty much the same thing. Hey, beam me up, Scotty. Get me out of here. What is? This was not the plan.
Fuck.
You have
See if I can go near Dieter's barracks and try to grab as much as I can of the metal as I'm like into whatever communicator I have.
So that would all be in the metallurgy room.
Is that in
Okay,
one of the
that's what we
barracks or
know.
is that?
It's not there. The barracks is not where he's working on the metal.
Where is he working on the metal? On the map.
In the hub.
In the hub? Oh, it's in the hub? Okay,
Yeah.
well then I ran off to there instead of the barracks.
Okay, so you're in the hub in the metallurgy room. Okay.
Yeah.
So you then hear a fight behind you. And you probably glance behind you. You see Mia is on top of Morgan. And to the best of your knowledge, she's just killed him. Because that's what it would look like from a distance.
Did I understand what he was saying?
No, it was not a language you understand. And as far as you know, not any Terran language.
Oh, that's interesting. Well,
So you call.
They're over there. They're distracted. I'm going to continue with my escape plan, grabbing as much of this metal as I can. And
so you discover Dieter stole half of it and hid it somewhere because you open the little cupola and half of it's just gone.
Of course, he probably used it in his bomb.
All right, ma'am, right away. We're going to send some choppers for you. It's going to be roughly 42 hours. Hang tight.
42 hours. I can't wait that long. This is an emergency.
We can reroute something out of Hammond. Yeah. We can make that. We cut that down to 35. How's that?
Sure.
And at that point, you hear that howling noise again, and it's much closer.
What about my other communicator?
Let's see. I got to go over your research.
My actual beam me up, Scotty.
Just a minute. Well, there's no beaming. That's not a thing any race you know of has. All right. Yep. So you can reach them.
Cleared enough? Kind of in the eye.
So in your language, you hear. I assume you reached to the Americans for help.
I was reaching to my people through my communicator.
Okay, this is Mike. We did that, and then they say to you,
They said 35 hours? Oh, I thought it was the Americans that were saying 35. Oh, okay.
The first call was the Americans, because that's always the first call. You then take the special space communicator, and they say, did you talk to the Americans?
Yes, I did. They will get here way too late. It is coming now.
The best we can do is a satellite strike. Is this a danger to the Americans, our people, or our treaty?
Yes, it is a danger to this whole facility, this whole research thing. Our teams haven't come back, and it is almost to base.
Well, your choices are we clean the plate or you wait for the Americans.
I don't think I can wait for them. Clean it.
Well, then the experiment's going to be over, and you're going to have to make peace with the three-eyed goddess.
I have as much of the material as I can get, and that's the best I could do.
So, to be perfectly clear, if I strike the area, we're going to fuse the facility and everyone in it.
It's what needs to happen.
You're very brave. And then the thing turns up. Okay.
Throw the metal at the wall and just...
So like just a bit of like you throw the thing. Amanda, you go. Your cat is happy to see you. You have the choice, by the way, to log off anytime you want.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick up Foxy Fox.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna snuggle her and be like, "You have been so wonderful. You smell great, and you feel great. You're so fuzzy, and I really enjoyed my time with you. And I have to go now, so look after Amanda for me, okay?" And I put Foxy Fox down on the bed, and I'm gone.
Okay. So what you don't know, because you've never been around when this ends, is Amanda has scrambled brains. So the minute you pull out, there's a scream, and she drops to her knees and starts just making strange noises. Morgan, you're gone. You're on your way out. You're gone. Mia, you're on top of a dead guy. What do you do?
Gonna see if I can get any blood and then get the hell out, because I don't think there's anything I can do with this.
His blood is half human. So go ahead and make a toughness save.
Damn it. I use a resolve. All right.
Tough to be a vampire in this facility.
Let's see. 10.
So you can eat it and sustain yourself a little bit, but it's half reptilian.
Ugh.
It's a lousy meal, and it's like bad box wine.
All right, it'll have to do. And then I'm gonna. So I don't have any like connection to my folks, do I?
Not at all. No, there's when you spore and drop over a planet,
Yeah.
you know, you're there in whatever host body you occupy for as long as you can. I mean, what your job was to try to find some other way to call more spore clouds.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to go try and get to that antenna and try and somehow send some information out.
So I think the last shot. So what will the last thing Carolyn does? What will you be doing?
Born Max.
Oh yeah, you're muted, Izzy.
The last thing I do?
Yeah, because you're waiting for you know what. So what are you doing while you wait?
Going back through the main hub to Mia's left the body, right?
Yes.
Going back to
Morgan's just laying there. By the way, his face was a synth skin mask that has partially come away, and his actual face is reptilian.
look at that, make any kind of
Nope.
Hmm?
You have no idea.
I have no clue.
No.
But I can still communicate back the knowledge and
Oh, so you start. I like that idea. So you're walking around.
I'm walking around.
What I got here is, I don't know, he's got like
There is the Yeti or something. There's the Wendigo storm. I'm a good soldier. I'm reporting back whatever I can before.
So the very last thing we're going to see is probably Mia crying out in frustration when she realizes that the communicator thing attached to the antenna has self-destructed. And at that point,
failed!
As the Wendigo descends on the camp, the Greys, which are in orbit around the Earth, maintaining the treaty they made with the Americans in 1946, sky strike the camp, just level it, destroy the Wendigo, kill everyone, and leave a smoking, sealed crater. That's going to be a not quite a TPK because the Yeti made it. All right, put everyone back on.
Okay, I'm 2 for 2. I don't know if surviving
Yeti was
is a
able
good
to
thing,
get
but I
out of
survived
there.
twice now.
Okay, so the human was Bax.
Oh,
Human was Bax.
Yeah, he was tasty. He was good.
Everybody was an alien. So I'm going to go around and please explain for the others that anybody watching. Morgan, what were you and what were you up to?
I was oh God, what I was from I'm a Zelgan 12 vat grown designed for infiltration, made from manipulated human DNA. So I'm an alien super soldier, and I wanted to get down there and see whose ship it was that was down there, because it sure as hell wasn't ours. And if anybody found out about my organization, it was unacceptable. So
his race is actually trying to figure out whether to invade Earth.
Right.
So they have scouts, which are infiltration guys. They're known as the Register. And they were actually one of the races that figured out that a ship crashed. So they weren't buying volcanic vents. Like, that was a fucking ship. So they arranged for Morgan to enter the group to find out what the hell that ship was about. So he was a kind of a Terminator in a lot of ways.
And I failed. I failed miserably.
Caroline, what were you?
I was a member of the Greys, who are the ones that pilot the UFOs that are occasionally noticed by the natives of the area. And in 1945, my people traded knowledge of an atomic bomb to access the terrain airspace. And so we've had this treaty with the US going, and I was here. I was put in power to keep a lot of things secret. And so finding this metal was not good. And I could have possibly manipulated emotions, because the Greys are very good at reading that. But never quite came up.
Yeah, it wasn't Oppenheimer that did the bomb. It was a trade with the Greys. It was alien technology. And they've been working with the American government since 1945. And old Project Blue Book and all of that, there were actually Greys in charge. So Carolyn was actually a ranking person at that organization, was sent here to deal with, they say there's alien metal, find out what's going on, we have a treaty with you. But at this point, very few people in the government know about you because they were beyond top secret. So like like the president's book has like, by the way, aliens for sure.
By the way. But yeah, I was a little worried about Dieter, because he was the one who...
what were you?
I am Keluk. My true name would give any human who heard it a stroke immediately. I am a member of the Curators, Watchers over Earth, with the prime directive of not to interfere. Sadly, our vessel was hit by a meteor and fell into the Arctic. I was the only survivor, and my whole mission was to make sure that the ship would be blown up, which I did by creating a remote and attaching it to a suitable antenna and initiating meltdown. So I died happy knowing that this secret died with me. You are welcome, my friends.
You won.
No, he got 100% success. The whole geyser was the fact the ship is actually down there. The bits of metal were the outer hull, and it has, being a spaceship, one of those quantum infinity will last forever kind of drives. So all of that stuff was not volcanic. It was the broken ship under the surface of the water,
venting plasma or whatever.
All right, so what was the director's deal?
Yeti.
Yeah, Yeti.
So Magnus Johansson is a scion of the Augur family, and he's a direct descendant of the Norse ice giants, who are older than humanity and split off into two lines. So he's a member of the Vanir line, who are the people who look like humans, and then there's also the Olfar line, who I thought maybe the Inuit woman was, but wasn't, I don't think, who look primarily like Yetis. So my deal was I was maneuvered into my position here to try and satisfy the curiosity of the humans, but to keep them away from the Yeti camp that was 12 miles north of base. Just be like, all right, look at this shit. This shit is exciting. Don't look up there.
Don't look over there.
And also not to reveal my Yeti self, but oops.
And the giants were also extraterrestrial. They came to Earth a long time ago, but they're not from Earth.
But then we saw the Earth women and we fucked, and that's how.
And that's how you get Norwegian.
So technically, you won
Fjords,
too.
What? All right.
We didn't go up
he actually
north.
did.
So.
Yeah. Yep. And he will go off and live with the village 12 miles to the north. And now this is all leveled. That's probably going to end the research project. So he did what he needed to do.
Yeah, and I hated the heat. Super comfortable and cold.
Amanda, what were you?
So Amanda is human. Amanda is human.
Wait.
No.
But my name is Babadara, and I am a Tilabaran, and my species' special ability is being able to send our consciousness across space into hosts or husks, and we do that. Aliens all over the universe call us tourists. The tourists, that's kind of what they call us, because we like to hitch rides on different planets with different people, try different things. We're super hedonistic and just want to try new things and are really into experiencing smells and tastes and adventure. But
not consent, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I'm getting speared by an icicle.
Knock.
Like, oh, this is great. Fuck, that really hurts.
So Amanda and Foxy Fox, 100% human and cat. Also 100% dead in ash now.
And last but not least, Mia, what were you?
Mia is part of a parasitic race called Bloodborne. We're clouds of spores with a collective consciousness, and we drift through space. We're drawn to biospheres when we sense them, and there's like a cloud hive. It shadows into countless spores, spore pods, kind of like you'd see shooting stars. That's us. So most
Wow.
burn up on entry, but the ones that actually make it through can be in the atmosphere or fall into an inhabitant. And I happen to fall into Mia, like more than 100 years ago, and I feed on. They have blood. That's how I live, by making. So once I infect the human or infest the human, I get claws and fangs, and basically I'm a space vampire. You know, don't hate. So I was trying to find a way to bring more spores to Earth because, hey, we got a place to live here. We got lots and millions, billions of places to live. And yeah, we don't like bright sunlight, and we need blood to live. So I don't know why you would
you
say I'm a
all had a
vampire.
lot of cross purposes, which is the reason I didn't know exactly how that was going to go and in what order. For example, Amanda is a moral hedonist. She could have decided, because Tanya is certainly capable of it, to be like, I've never killed a cat before. Or I've never poked somebody's eyes out before.
I decided that I really like this cat because, like cats are kind of amoral, hedonistic too, and I feel like there was some
kindred spirit.
but like, given half a chance, like I think Amanda would have banged like anybody there.
I kind of caught that vibe.
Right.
Okay, see, when Bax came by and was like, "Hey, Caroline and Amanda, you wanna?" And I was like, I almost went like, "Oh no, Amanda and I are good. Like, we don't need you." Well, I wasn't sure how that would be received.
According to my sheet here, I've already banged Bax. So
Yeah.
like that was
you've already gotten.
I already had pee.
He would have been a return visit, yeah.
No
so
takebacks.
The Greys are the Area 52 big gray heads with. She's literally wearing a vest that transforms her on a topical level, so she looks human. She was the reason there was that bit about the warning about being kind of fragile is she comes from a lower gravity world, so she's fragile and weak. Like the Greys don't really like it on Earth because it's a higher gravity. It's rough for them.
So what happened to Loomis, Lloyd, and Shode?
Oh, well, they got attacked by the Inuits. So they were a group of people that they figured out through the signs they saw through their shaman that a bunch of the others had gathered together in enough. You were literally like, look at how many of you were one. And they decided the thing to do was to call up the Wendigo. It cost the shaman her life. Part of the ritual required her to give her life in exchange for that. And it was like, she was the aggro version of the Lorax.
Yes.
I speak.
Okay, but if I had waited for the Americans, I don't think that I would have survived either way.
No.
It was just which way do you want to die honorably with like, and I succeeded. I kept.
Yeah,
hey, look,
alien stuff under wraps.
Start a club. Last time I crashed a ship into a giant space monster.
Yes.
That was metal.
That was super metal.
Like TPK club.
I want to go around real quickly and starting with the buttery man voice. Dave, you got any like things you want to pimp? I know you are pimp. What are you pimping?
I am pimp. I am totally pimp. So I am a professional voice actor. If you dig the
no shit.
No shit, right?
Talking, man.
If you dig the buttery tones coming at you on 98 FM, go out to butterymanvoice.com, hit the let's work together button, and let's make some vocal magic. I will also tell you, I am going into the coffee business. I am starting up a brand of coffee called Corpse Coffee, the No Mortal Brew. And there's going to be a webcomic. There's going to be a podcast. There's going to be a full multimedia, blow your brains out the back of your head coffee experience. Just you wait and see. corpsecoffee.com. There's nothing there yet. Just make a note.
Nice. I'm going to ask because it's polite, but Izzy, do you have anything you're promoting?
Not at this point.
Right.
Might be some Etsy dice soon. If I get really good at resin. But no, this is fun. I'm kind of newer, if you couldn't tell, based on the age range. So I hope that, as I do more of these, you'll see me more. It's fun.
What you got going on, Dieter?
Would you like to learn how to sword fight like they did in the Middle Ages? Yes. It's the Austin Historical Weapons Guild, and since COVID is ravaging us all, we're doing virtual beginners courses where you get your practice weapons, and then everything is virtual. The video courses, you do videos of you doing it, we comment on it, and then we catch up. And it works really well. It's super fun, keeps you fit, and you get to swing a sword at people, which is really fun. So there.
And Justin, what you got going?
I have not much going on at all right now. Thank you, pandemic. But
I didn't mean to rub it in, man.
No, it's good. But that said, I'm a professional singer, musician, voice teacher. I don't really teach online right now because it's not fun. And also writer. So anyway, follow me on my social medias at Justin Simard, Simard Voice Studio. And the minute I have anything fun and exciting to share, I will. Or hire me. I sing. For
Tanya, what you got going on?
What don't I have?
As if I didn't know.
When I'm not being a space slut, hi, I'm Tanya, and I'm the owner and creator behind Tabletop Teas.
They are so good.
It kind of shows up. It's hologram.
You can find, I make loose leaf teas that are based on all sorts of geeky things, and you can find them at tabletopteas.com.
Can I pimp you?
You may pimp me.
So good.
This has been I've been drinking her tea all night, and it's been keeping me awake and happy because it's so delicious. The chocolate chai, the name I can't remember. Gangrel. And it has an amazing blueberry vanilla black tea in lemongrass, which is I was
Katara.
like, whoa, Katara. It works really well.
Do you ship to Canada?
So
I
good.
don't have the ability, but I have friends, like I have a friend in Ireland, and basically she waits till her parents are sending her a care package and then orders, and then I do have a person in Canada who orders, and what she does is she has a friend south of the border who orders for her and then ships it to her. So you could do a sort of
I have my American shipping connection. I can make advantage of it.
So that's my suggestion, because I can't. Oh, and I'm also when I'm not here dying repeatedly, you can also find me playing the character of Finland Swifthoof on Your Average Adventuring Show, where you will also see Mike being our big bad evil guy. And if you Patreon us, you'll get to see him being a big adorable polar bear.
Yeah, first time I wore white in a decade. I also, Dave, I wore a hat, man.
It was cute.
Wow. Damn.
It kind of worked for me, buddy. Like, you know how weird that is.
How
fast was it, Tanya, after the game until I whipped off the white shirt?
Oh, it was pretty, like, we were doing the, like, kind of closing this, and he was like, oh no, and black t-shirts.
I felt my goth mother, like, turning on me. So, Emily, what you got going on?
When I am not dying or killing, I actually am an expressive arts therapist, which you can do over a virtual platform. Hopefully we'll be going in person for too long here in Austin, and I'm full now. So really full, which is great. And I also do comedy sports, which we do shows every Saturday night and via Zoom, and they're free right now. And it's Comedy Sports with a Z, Austin, all one word, comedysportsaustin.com. And come see improvised shenanigans. It's an improvised match. So it is
some solid players too. It's really worthwhile.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's competitive with points. We perform improv for points and games. It's all games based, and it's really fun. It's very fast and very, we need you to come because we need your suggestions, because otherwise we're just kind of boring.
So there's an invisible player here, which is our buddy Colt, who streams this for us.
Mighty.
Colt is actually teaching a class on how to do what he does. When is that, buddy?
That is, let me look at my calendar to make sure I say it correctly. That is Saturday, February 6th. And if you're looking for more info on that, either follow myself at Colt45Joyce, or 819 Entertainment at 819 Entertainment 819 on Twitter, and that's where all the ticket info is going to be. So
he's really good at what he does. It's worth it.
well, thank you.
So I do this. We do this every month. We're going to do it again next month, and we're thinking summer camp or slumber party massacre for next month. We'll post that real soon. We have a site for this, but not a lot of people are on it. So go ahead and like Wandering Wizard, because that's, and Dave pointed out, searching for Wandering Wizard, DM or GM?
It was Nystel DM.
Nystel DM.
Is at Nystel DM. We'll get it up for you.
It's a Facebook page, and everything I do, I run there. And I run Nuked, which is also available now on Drive-Thru RPG. And it's all of $4. It's like,
I bought it, and it is a very good read.
It is
oh,
rock.
thank you, sir.
It is rock.
It's also a ton of fun, and I'm hoping to get a little momentum behind it. The companion is coming next month, and I'll say it for the first time out loud here, because when I say it out loud, you're committed. The companion, we're going to put every cent raised by that to the Kind Clinic. So
Boom.
The backup
Nice.
project is going to be entirely for charity. Kind Clinic is something I really believe in. They're a wonderful organization, and that's coming in like 4 or 5 weeks-ish. But and Nuked is every Monday at 7:00, and we just had some wonderful guests. Like we very recently had Travis McElroy. We got some amazing people coming. There's a name that you'll be very excited about that I can't say yet, but it's going to be great. Yeah, we were playing this Monday. So thanks everybody, and I had a fun. Hope you did. I always wanted to do the everybody's an alien game, and I think it worked great. You're all wonderful versions of the fucked up people you ended up being. And thanks for coming and listening to us telling stories in the dark.
Viento?
Thank you.